Um, I will set the scene today, our first scene, right? And then we will explore and go from there. Have your D6s ready. Um, yeah. All right. So let me just close one thing out. I know it's always hard to get back into the spirit at the beginning since it's been so long, and then we usually just end up after the first 20 minutes kind of like these like avatars that we like kind of slip right back into and become the characters again. So I know how it is when there's been some time. So no worries if we're a little rusty as we get back to it. Well, that's a little loud. All right. Music should be low now, not blaring in your ear. Should hear the suburban atmosphere, the birds chirping, the dogs barking, sprinklers going off on a Friday afternoon. The teens have all gotten out of school early, or maybe they just ditched school early. It's been 6 weeks since you got caught by that security guard. Hey, what are you kids doing? And you all were, no charges were pressed. You all kind of like grabbed your shit and ran by him and knocked him over down the stairs and, ran to your little jalopy car and hopped in it and drove away. The one that Cat always lets you all borrow. It's been 6 weeks since you played Machine God 3. That experience was so wild, so absurd, but also in a weird way so realistic that for the first week after, it made you question almost everything about your reality, everything about everyone you met. However, as things do in Boulder, they've returned to normal. And though the entire ordeal was virtual, some of the emotional scars, the emotional moments kind of still sit with you, those of you who went through this. You've probably told Bruce and Annika about this when they've got back in town, but and of course they believe you as they've seen the kind of crazy stuff that happens in this town. There was even a report that the warehouse that you weren't all in, actually caught fire that night, but not much more information was released about it. And this seems to be the cases in Boulder. Extraordinary events become mundane and become forgotten all too quickly, in your opinion. For Annika, Sera's still out there. For Brian, or for Tony, Brian and his mom are still missing. And none of you have been able to maybe muster up the courage to visit that warehouse maybe for more clues. But I imagine the thought lingers in your minds. And so you still have other ongoing problems as, just as teens in your life. Tony is doing okay. His grandmother is still in the home facility being taken care of. Things are slowly coming together with the house from you all destroying it from when that serial killer tried to take her life. And Tony has been deemed competent enough as a teenager to stay in the house for now. So he's still living there. Annika, you got back 4 weeks ago after hearing everyone's extraordinary story, but you still worrying about your friend. And according to the newspapers, all those stolen computers from Circus City happen to be burned in that fire. The fire has been ruled accidental, but there's been no reports of anyone being detained or, for that matter, even any casualties in the fire. Garth continues to take his trips to the bookstore, kind of going to see his local guy, kind of butterfly in the sky. He tends to go twice as high off of what he gets from there. And for both Clara, Garth, and Jose, speaking of Jose, Renee is in the waiting room. Things have gotten, all the more strange as your parents have become unbearable recently, as just a couple weeks they set you down and said, "We're dating." Um,
Oh
yes, he gave it right to my. Um,
no.
and did they really have to do it at Sizzler right after you gotten back from the salad bar?
Oh.
Um, and
Now,
so
now I hate Sizzler. Now it's a part of my trauma. I used to love this salad bar. I think Garthy's just crying over his dino chicken nuggets.
So it was like kind of a quick flashback, and so fast forward. So I'll kind of recap a little what I've done without being, but Renee, you're just jumping in on the kind of me sharing some what's going on. But it's been 6 weeks since you guys played the Machine God 3. Kind of you've been kind of going through the withdrawals of that was just way too weird. You know, kind of the emotional trauma of that. Turns out, you know, you didn't get any charges pressed against you, but you know, you guys ran past the security guard and went home. Things have kind of turned back to mundane. You've heard that there was a fire at that warehouse, and so you all who were in that warehouse, but you weren't. So you know there's a real warehouse, and you know that it's burned down. But there's been no talk of fatalities or anyone being arrested for the fire, and so that's just something that's out there as well. Annika is still concerned for her friend Sera Persons, who's missing, and Tony's friend is still missing as well. Brian and his mom Stephanie, who had the construction site that you were at. And so with all this, the world feels chaotic, as though it's falling apart. You know, que sera, sera, and that is where we will begin tonight. So we'll share our intros, and this intro will give me a chance to get Jose's when we get started. I'll get your window together. But welcome everyone. So welcome back as we settle back into one of our most cozy and unsettling places, Boulder City. And as we arrive back, we find our teens today here on like I said, a Friday afternoon. And right now it's mid-April, still 1989. And in this scene, they're all hanging out at Claire and Garth's place. They're hanging out in the garage. Garage is up, kind of like looking out the streets. People are, you know, riding by on their bikes. Claire and Garth know that their mom is inside, and you know she's packing. She's been packing because she's going on a little weekender with with Jose's dad, and he's on his way to pick her up, and so everyone's just kind of lounging in the garage, like, you know, dealing with a little bit of this. It's warm outside, but not too hot. I'll allow you all to further feel out and flesh out the scene in terms of what do we find your characters doing here at the house, and I'll turn it over to you all. I've been talking too long. And then
I want there to be a small flashback scene of us at the Sizzler and Garth going like, "What the fuck, Mom?" and like slamming his hand on the table, which is like out of character for Garth.
I know, Garth. I know this is really hard for you, but it's been a long time, and I thought you were old enough to know you were both to you know, be okay with this.
I push the table away and I stand up and I start to walk away while carrying my Sizzler plate.
The mom just looks down at her food and, you know,
Clara follows him out.
Oh, I'm going to the Sizzler bar.
All right.
Like the salad bar?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll go with him.
Okay.
Just to make a point.
Yeah. But But anyways, that's a small flashback scene. I
Nice.
don't want
So
to. I don't
they're
want
back.
I don't want to deep dive into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
That was my
Alright.
response. I don't know how they broke it to Jose. Was Jose at Sizzler?
That's a good question.
Yeah, was this a
no, yes, he would have been there
was it
because his dad's
group
there. I think he brought them all
discussion?
there, like, you know, on a
Oh,
Sunday
geez, that's awkward.
for like
Well, then
brunch,
Jose
and
is
then
sitting at the
just hit
table.
him
I don't know
with-
where Jose is doing, but we got up. Me and Clara got up to go to the
Yeah.
bar because this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
And then as they all get up, I don't know, Jose, how do you respond as they walked away from the table?
Oh man.
I know I threw you in the deep end. Right
He's
after
no. I mean, I think I know what he would have done. He would have probably slammed his plate down, but not gone to the salad bar. Gone to the soft serve,
Nice.
and then as he's looking at it, just going like shit, and then like holding the lever down as it like just keeps pouring out over.
And as he's walking away, you can hear the mom being like, "I told you I didn't want to tell you. It was going to be like this regardless. It was going to happen. They will be fine." We kind of flash back, and you all are there in the garage, back at Claire and Garth's place. And so you can also maybe that's part of like how they've kind of like dealt with this over this past few weeks.
Sure.
What this happened.
I just want to throw this in there in the world though, but I think Garth would be watching television.
Yeah, there's a
And-
TV in there.
The TV there, and then what I'd like the scene to be on the TV is like kind of the events that are happening at and I looked this up because I wanted to know what was happening around that time. The Tiananmen Square,
Okay.
but instead of like tanks, it's like mechs that are like approaching the people.
Okay. That's fair.
Like that's like the kind of scene that I'm like,
very
kind of
like
watching.
very like not like very like 80s like very like if a tank was a mech, so not like super Gundam like, but like just kind of like industrial with
Sure.
2 legs and
Not as
209 kind of. Yeah, not as graceful. That's a great way
Sure.
to put it.
And there's like the tank
Um,
man who's like standing in front of it with the flags, and it's
Yeah.
like the mechs. Like I'm like
So if
I'm
you-
kind of just enthralled by like what's happening.
Nice. So this is the town. This is where we're off of the Nevada highway. It's where Garth and Clara live. So that's where we're at right now. Yeah. So so Garth is enthralled watching like history transpire. Anyone else?
Bruce just like notices what Garth's doing. He kind of like he's leaning over and he's like kind of watching it too, just thinking, balls on that guy.
It's crazy. I mean, it's wild what happened.
Bruce senses like there's tension and frustration. Just kind of the chill guy is just trying to ease it down a bit.
Yeah.
Jose would probably go up with a jelly donut towards Garth and be like hold it so that the circle is facing him. And he's just like, and then put his finger through the donut hole, be like,
I think he takes like half of it. Thanks. Kind of chopping down on it.
yeah, there's a whole box. So
Oh, you weren't just bringing it for. Oh. Okay. All right. And then I get up and I go to the box and start runging around for the rest of this donut. I thought he wanted me to.
as I
split
try to
it,
like
but
eat my
clearly-
other
Yeah.
donut.
I think you see Clara, she's, on the couch next to where Garth was, and you see her with a notebook, like one of those spiral notebooks, and which you've noticed that she's been, sketching in it for a while. You can see she's drawing like little, sort of like, it looks like layouts of rooms and lists, like equipment of stuff, because, she's still thinking about that club that she wants to build at some point. I mean, I know we talked we started looking at that church and then all hell broke loose, but
Church is still there.
she's still sort of like she still sort of has that in the back, but she's also sort of listening to what's going on as well.
Yeah, Annika has been thinking about her parents that they divorced a while back. Like this whole thing just made her think about it, I think she's writing like a postcard to her mom. Just because, yeah, she's thinking about her.
What is the postcard like have on it? Is it like Vegas or Nevada, or like what's like the
Yeah, probably
image?
some sort of desert scene, I guess. I mean, whatever you can find here,
Mhm.
like a typical tourist postcard.
No. I think like Garth is like eating his donut and he sees Annika writing, and he kind of comes over and he's like, what are you writing?"
Oh, I'm just writing this to my mom. Like, I haven't talked to my parents for such a long time. You know, they're also divorced, and
Oh.
yeah, it just like this whole situation just kind of sucks. It just made me think of my parents.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just new, and I mean, I don't know. Claire and I have been through a lot, and I mean, we miss our dad too. So it's just kind of, I guess it's just hard to have like a new person come into our mom's life, and like
So-
kind of like our life, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Castro. We love Castro, but like, you know, we just don't really know how this is gonna work. Like with our, I guess, family now.
Jose's just like with like 2 donuts, looking like a chipmunk in his mouth. He's like,
And I'm like
and
looking
then
at,
and then he hands one to Annika, going,
And you see sort of Clara look up from her notebook at Jose doing this. And the look on her face is like, this could be my new brother. Like, are you kidding? She's just like, oh my goodness.
yeah, he's got jelly and powder just like all over, kind of just like he did at this point. He doesn't care.
What's Bruce up to? Oh, I think you're muted, Garrick.
Well, he looks over at Jose, and he kind of
Actually, you did. Sorry, I cut you off because you did actually say what Bruce was doing earlier.
No,
but
it's
I'm
okay.
sorry I called you. But...
I got some, and he kind of chuckles. He's like, "You look like Tony from Scarface." The powder.
the powder donut.
You hear the crash of like plastic wheels clink on concrete as mom comes out coming down the walkway. She turns like a bunch of bags in hand, wheeling like her suitcase, and she goes, "Claire, frozen dinners are in the the freezer." She kind of starts to run down a laundry list. "Garth, your arm, I had to wash. It's in the dishwasher." Like she's like going through like a list of different things, and she's like, "Okay, you all are gonna be fine. If you need us, actually, I didn't know. We don't know if there's really a number and to the island. So we're going to Big Boulder Island this weekend. It's we got invited. Judith Sunshine Jackson herself, the proprietor of the Sunshine Farms, has invited Juan to check out her new technology, and she also invited me and because she realized she's getting into a lot. She's like, I don't want to bore you, but that's where we'll be this weekend. As soon as we get there, we'll give you a number to the front desk, and we'll give you all a call and make sure you're fine. But we'll be back on Monday. It's a business trip, so yeah. And
wait. So y'all gonna share separate rooms, right?
Absolutely, Jose.
Bruce just kind of chuckles and like pops. Yeah, opens the Mountain Dew that and just kind of chuckles. And
can I have a what is the check I'm looking? It would be.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I do a roll check to see if I have to call him Dad?
I mean, that's up to you. I would never make you check them. If you would like to do that, you can.
I don't want to call.
They're not married. They're not
But
engaged.
your
They've just
mom is
been
gonna call
dating.
him Dad.
I don't want to call.
I get it. You all are teens, so for you this is infuriating. But like,
yeah,
if they're just people who have a little bit of spark, kind of back in their lives. That's
Nope.
really they're not trying to be disrespectful to their
I don't
kids
want to
at
call
all.
him Dad. I want to call him by his first name, whatever his first name is.
Okay, it's Juan Pablo. His name was Juan Pablo Estevez Castro. That is
Juan
his full
Pablo
name.
Estevez
So,
Castro. He
full
chose
name's
all
just
the
first name's
Latin
Juan.
names. He chose every Latin name he could find. Okay, fine.
That's the best.
Bye, Juan.
And
What's the role you want me to make?
I want a comprehend check from everyone.
Oh man.
Everyone present.
God, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Four ones.
Okay.
Jeez.
Gladys is an alien. Suddenly a chest burster comes out of Jose's chest.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's bad.
Too
You
much
have
power.
two
Jose.
sixes for
sixes?
comprehend.
Okay.
2 6s.
All right. Any other
Zero.
sixes?
Clara taking
No.
our carrying our team.
Nice. So I think that second 6 buys you a question. Let me look at the
Yeah. So you're just trying to do comprehend.
comprehend is what it was.
Yeah.
It
So
might be
comprehend. The bonus effect, you just get additional information,
the information.
and then-
Okay.
and then a bonus die when she uses that information.
Okay.
You,
Perfect.
you give
So
the info.
remember,
You give the info.
remember that, Claire, that you can use that information.
Sure.
If you need to use that information again, you get a extra die. Did Amanda get any? Or did Annika get a 6? No.
No,
Okay.
nothing.
So fitting in a weird way that, like, Claire's been in the house, gonna be very observant. Claire, you've heard, like, you've also been the one that's been listening to the radio. You heard what's going on with, like, the radio pirates. So it makes sense that this name, Judith Sunshine Jackson. Sunshine is what they call her, but she's this big mogul, big computer tech mogul, and she recently set up shop on Big Boulder Island. She had a bunch of the structures there demolished, and put up this enormous this enormous mansion. And you've heard that she's put all these greenhouses there instead. And she bought up a bunch of farmland from local farmers in the area. And people say that that's where she's raising, like, using it to create, like, to harvest, like, cotton, exotic fruits, all these different things. And so you've heard about, like, this lady from that standpoint. And with your second 6, that allows you to get some more information. You remember her name when you were all having burgers one night. That big boxy TV was outside, and that news came through about TSR, the Savage Lands. This within the next year or so, this amusement park that's supposed to open on the same island. She is the proprietor of that project that's being worked on as well. And so she seems to, like, have this, like, desire for amusement or robotics. You've heard a lot about robotic advancements that they're planning to use, which makes sense as to why your mom is probably going, because you and your mom and your dad were heavily into that. Your dad mostly kind of is known as one of the greatest roboticists who worked at the Loop. And Juan himself worked at the Loop, and Jose doesn't really know what projects he worked on. So so maybe you put that together. Maybe this has something to do, with them, with that. But so do with that what you will. So that's what you'd find out from that. And so there.
And
she's
so
kind of,
we're hearing. So how am I hearing about this right
Oh,
now? So is it
yeah.
coming up?
it's
Okay.
coming up because as she says the name, that's kind of like you take that from what you could have heard. You could have read it in a newspaper. You could have got it on TV. You've
Okay.
just heard about this lady. You like seen her on, like, maybe a magazine in a 7-Eleven. That's the information that you get from that. So
Okay.
it's connected to that whole Savage Lands amusement park over there.
Okay.
So they might even get to see, like, a sneak peek. And then as Juan is, like, coming out getting, is it Mel? Getting mom's bags and put in the trunk.
Mel Brooks.
Mel. Okay. All right, Mel Brooks. Let me make sure I make note
It's
of
short.
that.
It's short for Melissa.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, just want to make sure. Thank you.
He points at my boy Jose. I'm gonna let you know. He says, if I get to see any of the amusement park, I'm going to take some pictures. I promise. I'll bring back some Polaroids. Hopefully I get a sneak peek of, because I know you like that dragons and dungeon stuff. And I hear the park is very much like that. They hop in
And
the car.
he uses like the two fingers, and he's just like,
yeah. 1 second, and he comes over. Yeah.
he's just like, remember that talk you had with me?
Yeah.
Same goes for you.
Best behavior. Huh? You be good as well. I'll be good. You be good. Yeah. Okay. All right. You all take care. See you on Monday. Hop in the car. Slowly drive away down the block, out of sight. You all have a weekend ahead of you. What are your plans? What comes next? As you know, we often find ourselves in Boulder. You know, these teens are left to their own devices.
Absent parents. Gotta love it.
Do
80s.
we? So they're at. Do we throw the rager now?
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Feels
what?
like a party is.
I feel like we need to throw a party.
Yeah.
Friday. You all been through a lot of shit. We gotta do something.
Party montage. I would like to here's what I want to do. I wanna find my contact who can hook it up with some booze.
Okay. And do you want to tell me who do you go for your booze?
I think I would go to Coach Steve.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All right, give me.
Who's Coach Steve, who's like the like young young track coach, who is just shy of like being a little bit older than us, who like might have just graduated last year. Junior like coach on the new team.
All right.
He has like he's got like a mustache, and he wears like who's that really famous
You make up
80s
NPCs so well. It takes me. I have to like remember to take notes on these crazy fucking.
It's okay. I got it in my head. It's
make
God,
notes.
What's his name? He has big hair, and he was like really short shorts, really spunky.
Yeah.
From what again?
From the 80s. He had really short shorts.
oh, Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons?
Yeah.
Simmons.
So
Okay.
Coach Steve has like a mustache.
Coach
That's not the
Steve.
direction I thought you were going.
That is
No,
not
I
the.
don't
That
like
is not the
that either.
Richard.
I'm all Prefontaine, like we're talking trash.
No, he looks like
Richard
Richard
Simmons.
Simmons. Okay. And
Okay.
I'll let you do
Young.
whatever you want to do with
All
that.
right.
Simmons.
I'm gonna let us. We're gonna take that path down to like getting you some booze. But before you like as you're like, hey, I need to call Coach. Steve. As you're planning to do that, as Garth is talking about it, Clara, you've also had like while Garth is watching the TV, I imagine like you always keep your radio on, but it's kind of low. There's a radio in the garage, and recently you've been had it on that pirated channel that usually plays the radio pirate streams, and it's been dead for like 6 weeks. It's mostly been static, and I think you kind of keep it low because originally it was playing like this kind of like hip hop, and then from the different DJs, and then it went silent, and then it was like this electronic. But like almost with this weird kind of tapping and thumping that almost seemed just strange. Like they seem like reruns, but with no talking of the DJ Beastie Hook, who is the main DJ. But suddenly, DJ Beastie Hook comes on. Seems to be out of breath for a second. Attention, all you radio pirates out there. Yeah, the pirate channel.
She
we're
cranks
back.
it up when she hears it. Hears him talking.
We're back. We've been gone, but fear not. Yo ho ho! DJ Beastie Hook has returned with the bang. And he's like, listen, I apologize for my absence. Had a little mishap with the old Magnetrine ship. Let's just say she's temporarily out of commission, so to speak. But I assure you all that DJ Icy Rogers, DJ Blackbeard Biggie, DJ A Tribe called R. They're all doing fine, but they won't be manning the sales for a while, if you catch my drift. So now let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. But before we dive in, there's an important public service announcement I'd like to make. Listen up, my hearties. I urge you, please don't play Machine God 3. Destroy any copies you have. Trust me on this. And if you possess any copies, give me a call at 555-8400. Again, 555-8400. I'll reward anyone with $200 with proof that they've obliterated that cursed game from possession. All right, well, let's get into it, DJ, and Beastie Hook, and then he starts playing, like he kind of goes into music, and that happens.
Jose's on the phone dialing, like.
Whoa! Do we still have that game? $200. That's a lot, right?
Yeah,
Annika definitely has a copy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of snacks for our party.
And so, yeah, and you can tell it's the same voice, DJ Beastie Hook. How you doing there, matey?
Yeah, what's up, man? So listen, you said you need a copy of that, or you need it destroyed?
Yeah. You've been people been calling all day and saying they got copies, but no one's been able to really prove. I hear a lot of them got destroyed in that fire, but if you got a real one, I'm willing to meet. I don't meet with everybody, but I might be willing to. Maybe you could, fax me, show me that you destroyed it, and then I could tell you where to pick up the money. You get the feeling like he's still kind of he realized he's put this out there, and now like people have been like calling him. Of course, maybe there was like it could have even been that he like's been trying to put this radio signal out all day, and then it might have gone out earlier, but Claire just caught this one. And so yeah, he's intrigued. He's like, tell me more.
Well,
you want $200, or so you got the game?
We do.
Can I have a? What else is there anything else that you tell him? Is there anything else that you say, Jose?
I don't remember how much Jose would have remembered because of the bad rolls from last game. So I don't know if he wants to tell him, like, he'd probably tell him, like, that warehouse, it was full of those games. And there was a lot more going on.
You made it sound like you were there by saying no one was there. I've been trying to get information on this, and you got more information on the warehouse?
Well, me and my friends were there.
Give me a charm check with an extra die. He's like, I don't know, man.
Nice.
I don't like putting myself out here like
2
this.
6s.
Okay.
Nice.
He goes, all right, you got information on the warehouse. I got information on the warehouse. Here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave the ball in your court. When you're ready, you call me back, and we'll set a time. If you're not coming today, you let me know sometime this weekend when you can make it here. We'll set up a time, and when here is, I'll give you the coordinates to where I'm at. We can meet. We can talk. I'll have the money in hand. And he just hangs up.
Just give me. He hangs up.
He hangs up.
I was gonna try and ask him to DJ our party.
You call it back.
Hey,
So Clara is super excited at the prospect of meeting this guy.
Why don't we just invite him to the party, Jose? I mean, he's just a DJ. Like, what can happen? I mean, you just gotta get this disc, right?
Call him back. He would be like, "Hey,
Picks up. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a set here, but yes, we haven't opened up the lines yet. But I got a track playing.
So hey, I just called you.
Yeah.
So how about we actually show you the game? You DJ our party tonight. You get to destroy the copy.
Bro, I'm DJ Beastie Hook. I can't just DJ anybody's random party. You know, there's like a whole subculture. People know who I am. Your house will burn down, bro. Give me a charm check -2.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
-2.
I mean, Jose called. You know, it's on him.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
This is on him.
Yeah, he's not feeling this whole come to your house thing. If you get it, he will.
Well, he doesn't have to DJ. He could just come.
Yeah, he's hearing.
I mean, Clara has her setup and everything, but
Yeah.
That's a -2.
He goes, look, nice try, Ghost, but he goes, and then his voice changes from like DJ back to like when he was getting like real serious about this whole tape, and he goes, hey man, that might be something, I can't be talking too much on the phone, but that might be something to consider at one time, but you know, I feel like I got eyes on me with what's going on, and I can't really just be out in public, like shit's really hit the fan, so I will tell you where we'll meet, and we'll meet then. Otherwise, have a slamming party. I'll be DJing tonight, so if you want to like crank it up on the radio, then you can just you can use me that way. And then he hangs up again. Garth, would you like to roll your contact? Well, just to see if like the coach is around and
Yeah, for sure.
if you can get what you need.
2 and then
Does he wear shorts? Like
He wears shorts. Yeah.
He wears shorts.
He wears shorts. He wears shorts, and he runs. Every year he does this annual thing called the Jogathon, which is a entire day worth of the high school where people just jog around in a circle.
What time of the year does he do that?
He does it like in the springtime, so not yet. Like we're like early.
Okay.
All right,
Jose's just gonna tell Garth like, hey man, like just remember like that's my coach.
Wait, Jose's saying that, or?
Yeah, he's in the track team.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's like a junior coach, Jose. It's not like he's like a real coach.
Yeah,
like,
no.
So you got one
Juan,
success.
Just like Juan is not my real dad, you know.
Yeah, but it's them little shorts, man.
Dude, he's cool. It's cool. I got him. I rolled 1-6 on contact.
So we cut to you all in a parking lot of like a 7-Eleven or like a little shop, a liquor shop, and he comes jogging out, shorts real high. We kind of like close shot on his on his rear as he goes, hey guys, I got all the beers. He starts like putting them, handing them to you, and looks around, handing them through. Don't tell me.
Oh man, you're the best, coach. You're the best. I'm gonna try it next year.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna try
remember,
next year.
For every beer, you gotta hydrate. So 3 waters for every beer. Okay, because
Yes.
I gotta have you ready next week. We got a jogathon coming up.
Yeah, Jose. I'll make sure Jose drinks 6 waters. Yeah,
We're good.
It's a
Cool.
responsible coach.
yeah, dude. That's why I love him. Thanks, coach.
No problem. He does some
See ya.
jumping jacks and then runs away.
Amazing.
So now you've invited. I imagine you guys are inviting people to your house party tonight. I take it. It's kind of a last minute Friday thing here. I imagine everybody's all of you. If you have some friends to invite, feel free to. You don't have to. If it, who are you inviting? Like, who's Bruce?
Oh, I
inviting?
love that.
Who's,
I love that. Okay, cool.
I mean, Annika is just feeling very uncomfortable with the whole situation. She's not really into parties and drinking. And yeah, the only person she would want to invite is Sera, but she's missing. So yeah, she's feeling a bit down.
So
about this.
Clara notices this, and so she asks Annika if she wants to help her make some flyers for the party, and they can pass out together at school. So they've made some flyers. They're not very. They're just.
Well,
like
remember,
party
it's Friday after. Is this for tonight, or are you having it so you're having this party on Saturday then? Because then there's enough time to actually pass out flyers at school. School's out on It's
So
Friday
school's
afternoon.
out already? Okay.
Yeah, so you all are either having it tonight and just having a few, like it's like a small thing, or if you're trying to have a rager, or you having it like a week out, right? Like, is this something that we're planning? What is?
Well, it's
what
while
is-
they're out of town because they just
They're
went
out of town, so
for the
they just went out
weekend,
of
right?
town.
So it's got to be
Yeah,
this.
so- yeah.
So I
So-
think we'd be prepping for it. Like, let's say like we're getting the booze tonight and we're prepping
Yep.
for it tomorrow.
Okay, so it's a Saturday
Wait,
night
whose
party.
house?
It's at our house, right? Because that's where
And-
all of like our DJ
This is-
stuff is, and
Our home is now your home, Jose.
unless
Annika, this
Jose
is-
wants to host it, do you want to host it?
I mean, that house is pretty much empty.
I think what is happening with the whole flyer stuff is like maybe we're passing out in like a public area to like teens and stuff like that. But I think it gives an opportunity for, Clara and Annika to
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're
so
passing out some flyers.
I'm working on
Like at
booze,
the-
so I'm not here. So I don't want to metagame.
And Annika, I know that with what's going on with Sarah, like has it sounds like Annika has kept this kind of like anxiety about her friend like to herself, and is not really like kind of pushing them on it. Is that what I'm sensing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she just doesn't really know what to do with it, and like so much, like she missed out on everything that happened, with in the warehouse, and she's been feeling a bit, just a little bit like depressed lately, I think, because she missed out on things, and Sarah is still missing. Yeah, it's all weird.
Yeah. Okay. And so they're passing out flyers, and people are taking them. Like, oh yeah, maybe we'll stop by. As Clara, can I have a lead check?
Okay, we'll see about this.
This is gonna determine if you're like, people are the flyers you all created are gonna like.
I got one, which is
Okay,
surprising.
one success.
So yeah, and of course I call Jake and invite him and have him pass the
Yep.
word around as well. So,
Nice.
get the word out.
So we transition scenes. It is now like 10:30 at night. Boom, 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 boom. The house is jumping. Like there are people wall to wall in your house. You made the mistake of like handing stuff to Jake. Jake, the whole like half the football team is there. Tony's busy doing something tonight, so he's not there. There's people all in your kitchen. It hasn't gotten to the point where anything's getting broken or anything, but it is to that point where you're like, oh, we didn't think this many people were gonna come over here, right? Drinks are flowing. I'm sure Anna's kind of sitting in the corner with your little Game Boy and stuff. But what are you all doing?
Jake and them, they're just being stupid jocks. So I sort of, Clara makes her way through the party and sees Annika sitting. And so she sits down next to her and tries to chat with her, hands her a soda. And, she's the only other girl in this group. So,
Yeah.
She's trying to sort of a
And
little
right
bit of a bond
before-
with her.
Right before, as you're bonding with Annika, right before you had just talked to Jake, and he had just been like, hey, we haven't been kind of going out much, and he was like hoping to maybe go out in the next week or so. And he kind of runs down. You could tell that he's like trying to find what place. He's like lists all the movies that are that are going to be playing. He's like, maybe we could go check a movie. And I heard you've really been into like that. I know you're really into music, so maybe go hang out at the record store, or maybe go see a show or something, a DJ or something. So you could tell that he's it's weird because Jake is like this super jock, but he actually kind of gets a little like flustered around Clara Steele. And then he goes off, and I don't know, unless there's something you respond to him before you.
Well, I think she's like, she's trying to play it cool, but she's like, yeah, we can maybe do something. You can give me a call.
All right.
And then she
I'll do
goes
that.
and continues on
Yeah.
her drinks to find Annika.
So there you are. So you and Annika are sitting together. I didn't want to break in on your role play happening there.
So Clara, you said that when you were in the warehouse, you said that you saw Sarah, right?
Did we see Sera? I'm asking
Yes,
as a player.
Jose saw.
Did I see?
Sarah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Do you remember what? Do you remember what happened to Sarah?
We were
Jose?
in the
Okay.
whatever the
We were in the place, right?
Yes.
Like
we were in the VR place and we saw like Sarah who kind of like melted and slumped over. So that's we don't know if we per se saw her because we
would
saw her.
Clara have recognized and saw her, or were we in our sort of weird alternate reality at that point? Because Clara and Garth were in that sort of fantasy world where everything was perfect and everything.
That was the weird, because that was the weird thing about it, is that is the moment when Jose started realizing something was wrong, because Jose, Tony, everybody else thought they weren't playing the game. So they just thought you all. So you guys were like, levels of
we got
Inception.
sucked in
You guys
quickly.
were 2 levels of Inception, and everybody else was another level. Like, oh, we're just outside thinking we're outside. And so Jose saw Annika turn to him and did some weird thing. I mean, Sera, and then Sarah's like head fell off and like rolled across the floor, and that's when all like hell broke loose. And just turned into like, dust till dawn in there as the everything started trying to take control of you all and keep you in the system. So yes, that I would say that you even recall, whether you saw that moment, you remember Jose talking about it for sure. And I don't know how you tell that to Annika.
Yeah, I think Clara, you might see her getting a little bit sort of uncomfortable for a second, and she says, that night was so weird. I mean, we were really sucked into that game. I know, Jose, I think, might know a little bit more because Garth and I were pretty out of it for a lot of it because we really got sucked into that game. And you can tell she's like, she's really thinking, like, it sort of makes her look a little preoccupied because she's imagining like that feeling, because when she and Garth were in that game, and there was that just sort of feeling of wholeness and peace because she's always worried and things are always sort of messed up. So you see that she sort of has that look about her, like she's thinking about that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annika is just, she's just worried. Like, she doesn't really understand what happened. And she knows that the warehouse burned down. And, she's worried.
And Clara says it's hard to really know what was real and what wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt real, but then we weren't there, so I mean, I don't even know, what we really saw and what we didn't.
So maybe that means that Sera is fine. I mean, it wasn't real, right? So she should be fine.
I mean, she could be.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere we can look? I mean, what is there anything that we can do to see, to check to see where she might be?
We went to her house before and we just found the game, right? It was empty, so I don't know.
So I think based on what I've shared also, I think you would, without even having you make rolls, you would know with whatever's going on, the other option might, because remember, you hear about the warehouse fire, you were all there, Jose saw Sera sitting there playing the game when it was all part of this illusion, but then the warehouse was actually real. So in a weird way, the weird thing, I get it, because they all think they've gone to the warehouse, but they haven't really ever been there in person. So that is a place that they could, check out.
Mm-hmm.
I think at some point we're going to want to check that out. I mean, I think we've been avoiding it, but at some point I think we're going to want to go and see what's there and see what maybe really happened there.
Roll a die. So as you all...
Yeah, I think Annika would like to go.
So Anna's like, yeah, I want to go there. So we kind of pan away from them having their conversation, kind of like where we can really hear them, but picking up to the drawl of like everyone partying. We see, what do we see like over the next 2 hours? It doesn't have to be Anna or Claire if you don't want to, but I just wonder, whatever, maybe there's one thing that we see Jose, Garth, or Bruce up to. Because Bruce is a lot older than these kids too, so I wonder like what Bruce is doing with like. Actually, Bruce, there's some older kids there. There's some 19-year-olds. I think kind of that showed up as well. So
I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that weirdo. So I definitely invited some friends. Let's just put it that way. So
yeah, they're like the cool kids hanging like in the back or like on the front lawn or something like that. I don't know, but you tell me. Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, no, I mean that's all they're doing. They're just talking. He's keeping an eye on everybody, but he's not to be immature, but Bruce does kind of looks around and just starts kind of, as he's talking, rolling the doobie. He just does what he does. So it's just like, and doesn't do it too often, but a party like this, why not?
Yeah. That's another question. Who's all is inebriated and how far, and then who's all like just like sober, chilling.
So Jose would be with Bruce. up until the dance team comes in, and then he like books it straight across and then jumps like full on hurdle style behind Annika and Clara, and he's just like
as Bruce is rolling it, he was just like
the dance team is walking through, kind of like pop locking, looking mean at everybody.
Hey, I like pop up behind the couch and like, hey, yo, Jose, you're a track star now, okay? You're a track star. Listen to me, okay? You're a track star, okay?
Do you know how fast they are?
You know what? That doesn't matter, okay? You have endurance, okay, Jose? You have endurance, okay? Whatever they can throw at you, you can outrun them. All right, so you get out there, and you dance your little heart out.
They started a little break. They started a little circle. Like, people are break dancing and doing like the little floor spins. Suddenly, a boss, and then like as one of the guys like does like a little swirl on the ground. He kind of comes up. He kicks over one of the lampshades. Bam! And it like smashes on the ground. And it's Clara Garth's. One of you all's lamps is broken. My bad. And he just kind of like high fives one of his boys.
No, we're ending this. We're ending this right now, Jose. And I grab Jose and I pull him to the dance floor.
Oh, look who it is! Little one-armed bandit and what's he doing?
He just one-armed bandited me. DJ, hit that beat. And I'm looking at Clara.
So Clara's got up as soon as the lamp broke, and she's like sort of trying to shove people away, and she goes over to, because she's had the music sort of on just sort of autoplay while Annika. So now that they're up gonna dance, now she's going back behind the DJ station, and now she's gonna start playing some music for them to dance to.
And I'm trying to inspire Jose to use his skills as a new athlete and track star. So I am trying to inspire him.
Where's your skills, dude? Where's your skills? Come on.
I'm trying to lead him.
What's the song that they're playing?
Tell me.
Can I make the roll? I'm like trying to.
You're trying to get. Wait, say what you're trying to do again.
I'm trying to inspire him. I'm trying to like pump him up.
You're trying to like peer pressure him into dancing, or are you trying to actually do it through like, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. Like, you can do it, Jose. Get out there. I believe in you.
He's just like, do you know?
You what?
Do you know?
You're super high.
Let's see what you got.
Okay.
They do a little move. They do a little shimmy. They break dance. Boom. And then they stop. They turn it over to y'all. And here's what I'll do. I never roll dice as a DM, and I'm not gonna roll many. But my sixes,
he's not gonna roll many.
It'll be my sixes against yours. So they're gonna roll their breakdance dice. Okay, I won't tell you how many sixes they got on that first roll. Okay, what do y'all do?
Okay. I come up behind Jose and I grab his arms like a scarecrow and I start doing like a puppeteer, like a puppeteer move.
So Clara you hear "Bust a Move" come on the
Nice.
come
Okay,
on
so
the, come on the stereo.
all right. I gotta be careful with all these. How long I play these, but let's. So Bust the Move comes on. This gives you a little like surge of energy for both of you. So whoever makes the roll, whoever makes the move roll, I'll give you a +2 for the Bust the Move.
Okay.
For
So you want us to do
players.
move? You want us to do move rolls?
Yeah. What were you suggesting? I was suggesting.
I was
a move.
suggesting because I'm pumping him up. I was suggesting a lead roll.
Oh
But
yeah, I
he's
want the
leading him
lead
and
roll from
Jose's
you.
moving.
Okay, so here's what I
Okay.
take it. I actually that's where the 2 will come from if your lead roll is successful.
Okay. I'm not gonna take a. I didn't succeed on my lead roll, but I'm.
You can push,
pissed that-
but
I push. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna take.
you will take
condition.
a you will take a condition. Okay.
I'm upset. I'm upset that these broke our lamp, and that is Mel's favorite lamp. Like she got that lamp when she went to Reno.
She deserves that. 'Cause, we're mad at her. Remember?
Yeah, I know we're mad at her, but this was her and Dad's favorite lamp. So we're
Okay,
not
well, the
we're not
dad,
gonna we're not
okay.
gonna let it slide.
There-
Okay,
I-
so
It must have been their anniversary lamp.
it's their anniversary lamp. They get
Yeah,
one every
yeah, yeah.
year. They get one every
Yep.
year. You'll learn, Jose. You'll learn.
Yep. So is Jose dancing?
what'd you
At
get
that
for the
point,
lead?
if he
I get
Give
one.
us
I
six.
get one. I get one lead roll, so I have 2 dice pools to give to
Okay.
Jose.
Okay. All right. So and because I said that Clara had started the song, so you get he's giving you the 2 dice pools, and then as a DM as a GM, I'm giving you the 2 on top. So it's your moment. So you get 4
The
dice.
crowd is starting to get into it.
Oh, come on,
all
Castro.
right. So at this
Root
point,
him on,
like,
coach. Root him
I'm
on,
assuming
coach.
the dance team is also sort of dragged into it. So
I think
So,
coach.
at-
I think Coach Steve's in the back, like, get him,
God.
Jose.
And I think what helps also is that some of the like jocks, like Jake, since he's kind of on your side, since they're like like Claire, they've kind of started like, boo, who the fuck, dance team, boo, dance team, boo, like they kind of like giving that
Dance
kind of
team,
energy.
boo. Dance team, boo.
So at this point, if Garth has let my arms go, then Castro drops like a sack of potatoes, and it looks like he's like they're like everyone's like oh, and then he starts doing the worm.
Oh.
That's 3 6s.
Oh, okay.
nice.
So
You do the best worm ever.
I only had 1 6, so out of all the dice I rolled, so like you kind of like shut them down. It's like they try to turn it up. It goes back and forth between you both. And then finally, like, the crowd is just, like, kind of, like, on Castro. That they're like, man, forget this. The main guy who broke the lamp is like, it's a stupid party anyway. You can hardly hear what he's saying. Like, let's go. And as they're all walking out, is anybody, like, ushering them towards the door? Or they're just, like...
Coach Steve. Coach Steve is
Steve is
pushing
like-
him to the door.
And then as they get to the front door and they open the door, he's like, yeah, don't let the door hit you. You know, kind of, like, kicks him out of the house. And as he does... As he kind of slams the door, there's like a don't, like a heavy knock, and he cracks it, and there's someone standing there, and with like smoking a cigarette, and goes, says something to Coach Steve, and then Coach Steve comes over to Garth and said, or to Garth and all of you all, kind of like gets you all together. It's like somebody at the doors here for you, some dude. Said his name is
He
Beastie.
pulls out the blunt.
Says his name is Beastie.
Oh.
So
He says
Clara's
keep
still
the
the
name
DJ.
low key. Yeah.
Coach, tell him to meet us out back. Tell him to meet us out back.
Okay. So you all like go outside and like the lower, and he kind of comes around the side, and he's with this other kid. And he's kind of looking around. He's like, "Yo," and as he gets, he goes, "Man, I can't. I really. Is there any way you guys maybe shut? We had to talk. I figured I had to come out right now and speak to you. I couldn't wait till tomorrow. But you guys gonna be shutting this party down anytime soon, or maybe so we can just talk, or
I
what do
mean,
y'all insist on?"
Castro runs in and goes, "Cops!"
People were like, cops.
He goes, cops.
People were like grabbing their stuff and like exiting the house. This guy pulls off his like hoodie that he's wearing, and he's kind of got like this like kind of 80s fade Vanilla Ice like blonde hair cut. He's kind of a, you could tell he's like 30. He's a little bit, he's definitely way older than you all, probably 26, 27 maybe. And then he's with this young kid who you all recognize to be Brian, who was missing, who's Tony's friend. So Tony's not here, but he is with Brian. And so if I had to like show you what they look like, it would be second here. So this is Bob Beastie Hood, and the young kid is Brian. And so he's like, yo, well, as everybody's like clearing out, he's like, look, man, things are just getting way too strange. I got seen some weird folks fishing around my ship, and I had to sneak out just to get down here, but I want to figure out what you all know. And so what's your backyard like? Are you guys just kind of like standing out like under the porch? Is there like a little shed? Is there like you describe, you Claire and Garth, tell me where they're having this conversation at.
Well, because Clara was still in the house, and then when Jose says cops, you hear this like record screech, like you'd hear, and then everybody starts filing out. So she doesn't see what's going on until after that, and she goes outside and sees these guys. And I think what she sees, as soon as she sees who it is, she's like, you can see she sort of squeals and is like starstruck by this DJ that she's heard of but has never seen in person. So it's the first time you've seen her sort of like out about anything.
And as he kind of looks over and doesn't react too much, you hear is it Coach Steve, who's like the last person's out. And he goes, and you hear somebody go, "Hey, there's no cops out here!" And then boom, like Coach Steve slams the door, but he's still there in the house, and he like turns around, and then he walks out on the porch like he's like a part of the group. Like, so what are we doing? Oh, and he starts to see the way you're always staring.
Shorts, is he?
He wears his gym shorts everywhere. He's just they're kind of sparkly. They got like a little like they're kind of like.
It's the Richard Simmons effect. It's just they're tiny little shorts.
I know when I'm unwanted. It's fine. I'll see you on Monday. He puts his shades on and jogs down the driveway. You can see the nervousness, the blank expression on Brian, like he's been through a lot. He kind of looks like, a bit of a zombie. He got some bags in his eyes for a 16-year-old. And he goes, as you all sit down, like, Bob Beastie Hook, he's like, look, this is Brian. We was hoping Tony would be here. This is his friend, but he's my nephew. We haven't found his mom. He's gone through a lot. It's a lot to explain, but I guess I'll try. So a while ago, I'll just try to break into it. You let me know. It's gonna sound crazy. Oh, and first of all, I'm a man of my word. So you got the CD. I mean, you got the floppy disk, and he pulls out $200. He's like, I'm serious about this. No gimmick. I want to see these things destroyed. You can tell he's like trying to see it, like if you all are like maybe like thought this was somewhere maybe he was going to pay for it, or if he's maybe a collector. But he's like, no, do you have it? Are you guys getting rid of this thing or not?
So Annika brings out the disc from her backpack, and she asks, like, why do you want to destroy it so badly?
Okay, I'll explain first, and then I know I can't take it from you, but look. So my DJs we've been playing pirated. We've been playing our own mixes on the radio for years now. We also dabble in I dabble in. We call ourselves pirates. I sell stolen software. Just CDs, music, stuff like that. And he says, let's say I hacked into this corporation AEP. They are a subsidiary of DARPA, and I stole what I thought was a game. I pirated it. We sold it. We sold it to a bunch of kids. We played it. My DJ started playing it. And then my DJ started acting weird, not wanting to run their sets. All they wanted to do was play stupid Machine God 3. I never saw what it was. I'm not a video game person. I just was making some extra cash. And one day they cornered me demanding the last floppy disk that I hadn't sold. And they demanded that I give it to them. And I was like, no, like, why? And it turned into a chaotic situation. I ended up barricading myself in my room on the Magnetrine ship. And that's when all of our DJ transmissions stopped because I could no longer run. They stopped running them. And I started running reruns of my old synth electronic stuff. And I start using a little beat pad, adding a little Morse code, over the top to try to get somebody to understand. I was yelling for help. And for a moment there, Claire she didn't completely get it, but she feels like she was like, I was listening to that, He's like, unfortunately, it didn't really work, but at least I tried. But then my nephew here shows up, Brian, with my sister Steph. I had barricaded myself. He was under the spell of the game, and he brought her because he knew it would get me out of the room, and it did. And it started a fight between me and the other DJs, and next thing you know, a fight scuffle's breaking out, and then I wake up. My DJs are gone. Steph's gone. Brian's here. I'm tied up, and the ship has crashed. He's watching over me, telling me that he's making sure that the machine god gets its last part. And then that happened around 6 hours later, was around the time of the fire. And right after that fire, Brian he just woke up, right? He's like, yeah, I don't remember much of it. He's like, he just woke up, started going back to being his own normal self. He let me go, but that was it. It was like he was being controlled. And so that's why I know the pieces should be destroyed. But the copy that they took from me, they took it. I don't know what they did with it. So for you to even have another, that's good to know, because maybe that means that, enough of this thing didn't get assembled. So what this thing really is. What do y'all say to that? He's kind of quiet for a moment.
Pastor goes, it's a lot worse than you think.
Oh.
See, some of our friends decided to play the game at that warehouse, except we weren't really at the warehouse. And some of us decided not to play the game, and we're playing the game anyway.
Interesting. Full-blown levels of virtual within. Listen, you guys have a computer. I'm not going to use the disc, but I got to show you something. Can I use a computer in the house? Okay, so he leads you all in. Garth taking them to Dark has probably imagine they have a really, great computer setup. Even though it looks super retro and archaic, but it's got all the bells and whistles. And he kind of logs on, he goes online, he dials up, and he starts showing. He goes, look, so I can access my files from the Magnetrine ship, and he goes, you want to make things, what's weird is when I stole the files from AEP, Machine God, what I found is that these files, it turns out it's not a game at all. It's a crazy rad AI, but the AI was in separate files. So what I essentially sold was pieces of the AI that was trying to complete and put itself back together. I didn't know. And then I found out as I dug a little deeper, he goes, starts pecking away. This AI system was purchased by was commissioned by AEP for a TSR project. I don't know what that is, but and the person ahead of it, Sunshine, contracted them, and they were meant to develop this powerful AI. And he's like pulling up emails and stuff like that all over the screen. It was supposed to be an AI to manage the TSR park.
Boulder Island.
Yeah.
So Clara's, as soon as she hears TSR and Sunshine, she is like focused right in on what he's saying. She said, so she says, yeah, she's building that. I heard she's building that on Boulder Island, and it's going to be an amusement park. Something, I think it's called like Savage something, Savage Lands, I think is what it's called. So AI to for that park, huh?
Yeah, AI for the park. I didn't even know it was a park, but that makes a lot of sense from all the stuff that I'm seeing here. But then, see, these emails here show that Judith's people tell AEP that they have a problem with that the Machine God files are flawed and causing issues with their robots, and they need them to fix it, or looks like in some of these emails they're threatening, a suit. And then I find some information here showing that AEP guards, at least three of them, were sent out as part of Project Machine God to erase any traces of its existence. And here's what I found that's even more alarming. And he clicks a button, and as he clicks it, it pulls up a feed from the warehouse. And all that stuff that you all are doing inside the warehouse, you just see tons of computers it looks exactly the way you see it. And you see all of these rows and rows of tables. There is music playing and the big machinery in the background because it's a huge warehouse that was used for something else industrial long before. And all the computers strapped to like the server room into one big computer, and everyone is kind of like zombies just playing Machine God. And then boom, a door kicks in, and you're watching it from the feed of like a cam or a camcorder or a camera high up in the corner of a room. And as these guys enter the room, these three military looking commando types sweep through the room, nobody moves a muscle. Everyone continues to play the game. They look around, and then you see them taking, looks like they're shooting at the corners of the room. It seems to be like they're taking out the cameras, but they miss the one that you're all seeing. Seems to be like slightly like in a weird angle. And then they go to the computer room, and one of the guys sits down, and he's like pecking away crazy at the board. He's trying to get something to stop or work, and it's not happening. So you see he throws his hands up like, fuck it. One of the guys takes a looks like gasoline. He starts to douse the whole computer system. They light a match. Boom. It goes up in flames. Sparks begin to shower. The place begins to go up in flames. And they just leave. No one gets up. Everyone's sitting there playing the games as the place burns and fills with smoke. And before they leave, though, one of them looks over and sees a person and walks over and snatches one of the players up from the game, like disconnecting her from the system. And you realize it's a girl. And he's like, and he starts to drag her out. And she's kind of wakes up, and she's like kicking and screaming and yelling something, and and then they're gone, and then the smoke fills, and then the camera goes out.
Could we hear what she was yelling?
Can
No.
I have a comprehend check? I can have a. Okay, here's what I can have. Can I have a comprehend check for you? It would be a comprehend check, Bruce.
Nada. Nope.
Nothing. You can either push, or someone can get a compute to a program to enhance the audio.
I can push. Why not?
So you're pushing for comprehend, okay?
Yeah, why not? There you go. 2.
Okay. So you do hear. I'll go back to the Sunshine Farm. I won't go back to the Sunshine Farm, is what Bruce is able to make out that she's saying.
She doesn't want to go back to the Sunshine Farm, whatever that means.
Well, that is Sunshine's. She owns that. You know that farm that's on Boulder Island? They sell, I think they sell like plants and flowers and stuff. That's owned by the same man who's building this amusement park also on that island. That's got to be what she's talking about.
She won't go back.
Maybe she's
That
back
person,
there.
do we recognize that
Yeah.
girl at all?
Good question.
Can I have a... I'll take a comprehend check from everyone who's trying to recognize. Yeah.
1.
Okay.
Also 1.
1.
No successes.
Okay.
1.
As you all, some of you are, you're looking, both Garth, Bruce, Claire, you're like, could that be Sera? And then I think it, as you all like bring it up or say it, it allows Annika to take a closer look at the video. And sure enough, it's pixelated. It's really low res. But it could be her.
Can I try to clear up the picture?
Yeah, with a compute, you can. Well, probably start a compute
Is
program.
it
I don't know what to
Tinker
say.
or is it
It's a
program?
program.
Okay.
And I,
Not as good. I'm not as good at Gart as
I'll
Garth
give you a
was, but
+1. I'm giving you this
I'm not
+1
that
from
It
Jose.
player.
used to be
anymore.
good.
I used to be.
I got 1-6.
Okay.
That's it. Only
Taking
one.
taking care taking
And so
taking the
you're
family
able to
name.
clear it up, and it's just enough to make it out for Annika to be like, that's her. Not only that, but like where she's sitting is where Jose saw her sitting in the game. So now you know whoever these commandos are from AEP Corp, subsidiary of DARPA. At least on this day, on the night the fire, they have Sera with them
At the Sunshine Farm.
at the Sunshine Farm.
So we saw them actually bring her out of the warehouse.
Yep, you see them
Yeah.
leave. Like
Yeah.
you don't even see the
Uh-huh.
door from the angle. You can't even see the door that they exit from, but you can tell that they exit. You can tell that they get out as everything goes up in flames. And that's where we'll
That
take a
means
5-minute
she's alive.
break. And then you all can decide where they're going next. Is it the Sunshine Farm? Whether is it the warehouse? But we'll pick back up. We'll give everybody a break. So I can tell everybody probably needs to use the restroom, refill their drinks, and we'll pick up from there. Good game.
Sorry about the break. My computer died.
Oh yeah, no worries. And then that also allows me to fix the screens because the screens are all crazy. Got shuffled
Oh,
around.
okay.
So yeah, we'll get.
Very interesting. All right, cool.
Yep.
Thanks.
Cool. All right.
Does Claire need anything signed by Beastie Hook?
I don't know. I think she would want him to like, collaborate on something with her, like
She's
a
gotta talk.
session, the DJ session,
Yeah.
next party,
Yeah. You've definitely met
or maybe when they open their club.
you've definitely met a new friend. I think a new collaborator. Yeah, he. And once we get started, I'll tell you why.
She needs to
I
come
think
up with
he
her own
trusts you.
sort of DJ name.
Was Claire DJing the party at that time, or was she just like playing tracks? Was she like actually?
No, she
You
was
said she's like-
DJing, and then she would take breaks to get
Yeah.
drinks and stuff, and have sort of just a mix, like a
Yeah.
pre-recorded mix, just sort of playing, and then she would come back and DJ and do her own like mixing and stuff, which is I think what she was doing basically with
I like it.
them, when they were dancing and everything, and then afterwards before the party got broken up. So
Yeah.
And just so you know, we came up independently with Melissa Brooks or Mel.
Okay, I
Brooks.
like it. Okay,
For our mom.
yeah, I like it.
We each came up with it. I said Mel, and then I asked Aaron, and he's like,
Did
I
he
was
get Brooks?
soon Mel. I'm like, that's what I said too.
I love
that
it.
was funny.
'Cause I was like, they haven't had names for so long. It's kind of great that they just been mom and dad.
Yeah.
Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. I love Jose Stan Juan. What's it? That's so many names. Juan Pablo Estevez Castro. Alright, ready when these guys are.
Had to be that. Think about it. It makes
Yeah.
JPEG.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. Not to mention your parents are on this island. This as right now as well. So
where would they have gone for like a? Because they went away for the weekend, right? So is there, other than this farm and this thing that's being built, like where would they have gone?
Judith has a big ass like mansion and housing
So it's like a
complexes
resort
around
kind
it.
of
It's
thing?
like it's like her home
Okay.
in addition to where it has like a resort kind of yeah. It almost is like a Jurassic Park situation where she's invited these these people who she trusts have a good understanding of things to come see what she's working on, right? That's all you all
Okay.
know. So your parents are like the Alan Grant and of the
So how did our waitress mom or whoever waiting table's mom get an invite?
so that's kind of the stretch is there. She's dating Cash's
She's dating
dad,
up, huh?
but also no. Well, here's my real reasoning was that
Or
I
because of
think
her previous connection?
I think there's possibly more to the role mom played in the development of Garth,
Okay.
and maybe maybe Claire just doesn't. I don't know. For Claire's like, why is my mom going out there, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's something to be explored. But I think you all knew your dad as like the the head architect who built Garth. But is there more to it? I don't know. Yeah. But you almost got the feeling she wasn't just Juan's like +1, right? Like and that's what's making you question, like, Mom's not.
What's going on with these two?
Yeah, like, I mean, she's a smart lady, but yeah, she's never, from what you all have known, So what's going on with that? So, just waiting on Bruce. We'll jump back in.
Sorry about that.
I'm not calling. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not calling you. Sometimes I just do that because sometimes I don't know if you're waiting for everybody else. I'm just like, just let me know whenever you're ready. We're good. And so, what I'll say is we pick back up on the scene. We kind of like have cut to standing outside. BC Hook has put his hood back up. And he's like, you can tell it's this moment where the group is preparing to part. And he's like, I'm sorry I busted up your jam tonight. But it was important. And, I gave you a hard question, but I knew to trust you all. I knew to trust you when you called. You know how? It's because Brian was playing the game. I was tied up in the magazine ship, but he was playing the game from the ship, and he saw what you saw. He saw you all. So, has this at this point has the disc been destroyed? And if so, who did it?
No, not yet.
Annika's like, no. So he
Castro pulls out the crowbar.
So are you going to get rid of it or not? It's up to you all. I can't make you. I'm just letting you know. You now know how dangerous that thing is. You know what? I won't make you to make a decision, but I'll tell you this. If you all survived the game as long as you did, he pulls out, he adds, it's now a stack of 500. He goes, take this. He hands it to Anna. He goes, this is for you all to find his mom and to find my friends. I know we can't do it, but you all seem to be some tough little bastards.
So he's asking a group of kids to go find all of these.
Yes.
To go into danger. Okay. Makes sense.
Teens. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
they are.
yeah.
Tough little bastards.
So he hands over the money, and then he's like, by the way, whoever was DJing tonight when I walked up was pretty damn good.
Clara just turns bright red.
All right, well, you got the number to call me if you need me. Call me when it's done. I'll send you coordinates to bring them back, but just bring them back safe. And Brian hasn't said much, but he's like, yeah, find my mom, please. And as they kind of walk off into the night, this is Boulder Island. This is where it is. The Sunshine Farm is probably somewhere around this area where TSR is being built. In relation to everything else, this is where the warehouse was that you all went to. This was originally where the address was for the Machine God flyer. And of course, this main reactor is where the loop is. So these are where those 3 dilapidated towers still stand. Also, for context of just all that you all have been through, I know there's some, Annika's new to the group, but a long time ago, Big Boulder Island, you were probably on this Little Boulder Island, is where Garth spent a lot of his time when he was kind of in his emo phase and like away and kind of tinkering. This was the island. So you all have been in this island multiple times. This is also the island where you guys fought the MJ, met MJ and fought those dudes who were using the dinosaurs and all that stuff. So, and you've heard that it's, like, the whole place has been kind of like Judith is coming and like kind of done away with all that like junk and stuff, scrapped it and kind of created a more pretty much resurrected the island back to an island status. So what I asked you is, where do they go next? How do they approach? I want to see them, hear them get creative on how they plan to approach this situation. And it might not even be that they go to the island, but I don't, I'll turn it over to the teens. As BC Hook has left them, now they're there planning what they do next.
All right, DJ Kickass. What do you think?
Well, I think we need to go to the island, but we need to plan because I'm not sure what to expect.
So you've been there before, right? How did you get there? How do we get there?
Good question. I don't remember.
Before they used MJ
before?
would turn into a boat. Yep. And
Yeah.
So for Anna, MJ was like essentially a Michael Jackson was a transformer. And it was based on the old. If you've ever seen the old Michael Jackson "Smooth Criminal" music video, Michael Jackson turns into a car, and so he would this like MJ bot would turn into a car and a boat, or whatever they needed him for, and would ride them over to to this island. But remember, I think in terms of how far away we're talking, it's about 2,500 meters, half of the city. So this city's the city itself is only a couple miles wide, and so it's.
Do we still have the hover bikes?
It's like I think it's about a mile off the coast. I'm not good with like looking at maps, but let's say it's about a mile off coast. On the water, and one of the hover bikes was destroyed. One was confiscated. You had 3 of them, right? Mm-hmm. Do you guys still have one?
We might have one.
Might have one, but I think that's it.
I think you have one. I think you have one hovercraft.
We might be able to. I mean, there's a harbor right there. We might be able to lift a boat.
Yeah, let's go check out the harbor and see what we can find.
Do we want to bring anything with us, or are we just doing our normal, whatever's in our backpack and
what would I bring from home?
I love how Garth went from he used to bring the world of electronics would come up with to now ever since he's been drinking and stuff. He's like, yeah, I don't got nothing for that.
I don't got nothing.
Yeah.
Can I bring I'm gonna put my arm on, which I don't normally do.
Ooh, okay.
So can I just put my arm back on, the one that my mom cleaned up?
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna just bring my arm, and I guess I would bring this is a throwback. I'm gonna bring my Atari controller.
Nice.
My original Atari controller that I used to tinker with.
So is that more just champion. Like an item just to have with you, or does it do anything anymore?
Hey, listen, okay? There's still some technique in my right hand, but I need a little help with my left, so
I was just wondering, for what he uses it for now that he's.
I guess what he uses it for now is, I think he tries to still tinker around with things, and still tries to get what I would say information from machines. Okay. About the world, so it's not necessarily a build, he's not building things, we have somebody who builds stuff, but I think he uses it now more for information gathering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're jacking into machines with your arm?
No, I'm jacking into machines with an Atari controller. My Atari controller. My arm, I don't know the capabilities of this arm.
So your Atari controller is a lot like Annika's Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's more for
maybe they can be combined somehow.
Yeah, Voltron style.
Yeah, so that's what I bring. That's the only thing I'm bringing.
Bruce, any weapons, bats? I mean,
crowbars.
Crowbars.
Yep, that was the word. Crowbar. I was going to bring my switchblade too, and a couple of lighters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta have some lighters. Okay, lighters, crowbar.
Sera has her usual backpack that has some flashlights and some other sort of rope and all that stuff, and her calculus book. She's progressed to calculus now from geometry or whatever it was before.
You get crowbar and bag of cigarettes, calculus book. It's great.
I mean, it's more like it's worked so well for her in the past that it's sort of like her
It's
thing.
gotten us out of a few. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
And it seems that they get older every year, but some things stay the same, right? This moment, I think, where they all have that moment of like, as they've gotten a little older and remembering back when they were kids, loading up their backpacks, right, ready to head out into the night, the cold air. Even Annika is like, the first time she met this group was heading out to go search a dark magnetrine ship floating above, actually in a similar area. So for perspective, this is where the EK-11 Horizon crash is located. So it's about a mile and a half, 2 miles away. So that husk of a shell is also there, very close to this island. And so they set off and they travel through the night in the little, bucket that Kat has given them. She hasn't been around. She's working some late shifts at the junkyard and been busy with school. Tony's been dealing with needing to grow up, too fast, and take over responsibility for, his grandma. But you all are driving out. You decide not to not to bring him into this. He's got too much already on his shoulders. And so you arrive there in Hemingway Harbor. Now it's like, probably 12:30 at night. And it's
This
quiet.
is right after the party, right?
Unless
okay.
you're not. You all tell me if I'm wrong. It sounded like you were going right after the party.
Can
'Cause,
just imagine, the full sort of party makeup.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. You guys are getting out like,
Have my DJ, hair and stuff going on. So
I assumed it was after the party. I mean,
That's fine.
we were kind of moving forward from there.
Bruce kind of jokes and he's like, "Why do we always make these decisions in the middle of the night? Why do we always do that?" So we didn't see a movie this weekend, so if we survive this, that's
yeah, we can do a matinee tomorrow if needed.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'll hit the matinee in the morning.
Castro just he's like, there's always tomorrow, Bruce. And he hands it back.
How high is Castro right now?
Well, we're about to find out.
He's...
Castro, give me a.
He's gonna make a roll to see if he
Castro,
can walk.
give me you can choose heart, mind, or body. You just give me a check.
Oh my god!
No
can you
add, no
destroy
addition.
One of those.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Feel like we're less prepared than we were when we were kids because now everybody's on drugs or drunk.
So you said heart, body, or mind?
Yeah, whichever one you choose.
I'll do mind only because I have better chances.
Okay.
Oh my god! Only one success.
One success. Okay, you're good. You're feeling it, but you're able to. If you would have failed, you would. Actually, did anybody else take parts tonight? So,
Clara doesn't drink or do
Okay.
drugs largely because she is constantly watching her brother.
Okay.
So
she's smart.
Yeah, just-
he takes another hit.
no, she's paranoid, and worried that he's gonna overdo it. So
Guys,
No,
your check.
just so you know, Castro's wearing Ozzy Osbourne Flying High Again t-shirt,
Yeah, I don't think Garth is on any drugs because I think the adrenaline from the party fixated him. So adrenaline is kind of like the driving motivator for him. So getting the party together, he's good. He doesn't need the drugs right now. And now he's on an adventure, so I think his adrenaline is up.
Was he drinking earlier in the night? Is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, he was definitely drinking with Coach Steve.
So just give me heart, mind, or body. One of those checks. Just give me a success, just to see how he's.
Okay.
Yep. And what I'll say is because of the way you've metabolized it, Jose, your next check, any check that you make that would use that stat, that would use your mind, you get a +1 to.
Heart.
It's almost like how when
what
you
I
get
use.
kind of smart when you're high, you feel like you're smarter than you are. So his next mind check is going to be at a +1. What'd you get?
Heart was none. I didn't get anything, and I'm not
You
gonna
didn't get
push.
anything. Okay, not going to push. All right. So
That's
now
actually
your
cool.
your next heart check or anything considered will be with a -1. That next check.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And so You all arrive on the docks. Can feel that kind of like midnight cold air. You see, it's really dark down here because this place used to be. Remember when you all? This is close to the quarry. It's close to Boulder Beach, which is full of a bunch of like trailer parks now. So like, it's not the same. It's not a bustling harbor because no one really comes out here. So it's kind of rickety. You can tell that there's some work or plans. If this TSR opens, you can tell that they're like zoning the area and planning to refurbish these docks and make them much nicer. But you can see a few people that probably live in the area that own some of the shabby boats that are floating in the harbor. And you see a couple boats. If you are decent at that, you could maybe steal like a little skiff. And you suddenly notice walking around the harbor a couple of like suspicious looking guys, just a couple of them smoking cigarettes, kind of, but just who would be out here standing on the docks, like looking at the water. But they seem to be a bit farther down, away from some of the smaller boats, and it does seem like if you could maybe like sneak past them, unless you were bold enough to try to like deal with them, physically, or go about this a completely another way by going up the coast or going a different option. But that's what you see so far.
So are these adults?
Yeah,
Adults. Yeah.
Do
they look shady.
security kind of people, or more like
They're wearing just like
criminals?
they're wearing like big jackets because it's kind of cold at night, and jeans. They're not wearing any kind of security vests or any kind of insignias on them, but just some some shady. They're kind of like looking around. They could just be out having a smoke break. Maybe they're going back down the way, but they don't seem to be. There's no trailer parks around them where they like. And then you notice there's like an SUV parked near where they're hanging out. Black SUV.
Does the SUV has anybody in it?
Nobody. Doesn't seem to be. Tinted windows. Real dark. Real black. Yeah. So
I'm gonna sneak around the front of it and try to hotwire the SUV.
You're gonna try to okay. The SUV can't float, but okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get a boat.
I'm trying to hotwire the SUV, and I'm gonna take a brick and put it on the gas pedal so it goes away from the dock.
Distract them.
And so if you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna need a sneak check from Garth.
Okay. Sneak is that a move roll? Yeah, that is. Okay. Not great.
Does Garth need any help?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think he kind of plans this with Clara, and with Clara and Jose. So like, I think what he would do is like, or what? Okay, I'm just gonna play it. So okay, Bruce, Annika, get ready to take the boat. Jose and Clara, come with me. We're gonna try to hotwire this car and throw this brick on it and try to drive it away. Like, Clara, you gotta get in it to steer it, but as soon as you're like far enough, you like either jump out. Jump out, or maybe we can tie something to the steering wheel so that it just goes away from the dock.
Jose takes out his club.
Club? Are you talking about the club with the little red, the thing that used to?
Club,
okay.
yeah.
The club.
The club,
Nice.
yeah.
The club. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sounds good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll my sneak. But that's the plan. Is like, we're trying to hotwire the car, keep it locked out so that it drives away from them, and throw a brick on the gas pedal.
Okay. Clara looks around.
So by
for-
helping,
for a
then
brick.
you're just getting a +1 from Clara. So
Okay, sure. Oof, not my night. I did not roll a single 6.
you can push. You already still have a condition.
I guess what I would use is I'm going to use an automatic success, and I'll just use my arm at this point. So without even rolling, I think I use my robotic arm, and I think what it does is it just kind of like starts to tinker around and like move on its own, and starts to starts to figure out which wires to like rub together.
So first off, you get to the car, you grab the door. Surprisingly, it's open. You look inside, no one's inside. You jump in, start to tinker. His arm, it fires to life. A couple of the guys kind of looks at the docks, kind of like they kind of seem confused. What do you do next? Like, how do you follow through with the plan? How do you draw?
Jose, like get in there.
So Jose, what are you doing? And no, I'm not asking for rolls. Jose, tell me what's happening.
he as soon as he hears it.
Wait, Jose. Okay, wait. Let me make sure I'm right. Jose, you're in the car with them. Okay. Who's going? I heard somebody say, is anyone trying to get a boat or no? That's
yeah.
Annika is she's hiding and waiting for the distraction, and then she'll go to the nearest boat that she can see.
Okay. So as this is all causing a distraction, camera pans away from them. We can see like the two figures, Bruce and Anna, kind of ducking really low on the docks, getting down there and moving across to one of the boats. Boom! The car is up. The guys start like waking up, like, "No, hey man, hey, get out of the fucking car!" Like whoever that is, yelling out. And then you see one of the guys like pull his jacket back. Jose, what are you doing?
Jose spinning that wheel, and then he locks it in place.
Are you sending it at them or in a different direction? Is it like going down towards them on the dock?
He's spinning it away from the docks.
Okay. So it starts like it kind of like turns the wheel hard, right? And he like, because what I'm saying is you're turning the wheel and then locking so that it's stuck in that position, and you're putting a brick down on the gas. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And because you're putting the club in, so it starts to kind of it drifts sideways. It launches out, and then it kind of it goes in the direction. And then I guess who's putting the brick down? And then are you guys jumping out?
Sera was doing the brick.
Okay.
And as soon as the brick's in place, she was gonna jump out.
This is good. Let me have can I have a tinker for the brick?
For my brick?
Claire. Yeah.
Delicate stuff. I got 1-6. I've tinkered the brick.
And then I'll take a move check from you all as you jump out.
Yeah, this is
from
what
everybody?
I'm more worried about.
Anybody who's jumping out of that truck needs to give me a move check.
Side note: as a person, I've never hotwired a car, so I don't know how it happens. Like, am I inside the car? Am I outside the car?
Inside.
Inside.
Okay,
You're
fine. I'm inside the car, so then I'm gonna hop out. Yeah.
So I did not successfui move.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means I fell out or I'm still in.
It means you're gonna hit you're gonna like you're going to make it, but it's gonna draw back the story. Not because you guys don't have hit points or anything like that, right? But it's gonna draw back the story from like you're gonna take a tough hit on the ground. So you might like you can tell like the way you're gonna land. It's gonna be hard for Claire to just. We don't know what's gonna happen, but it's not looking good the way you're falling.
Okay, maybe I'll push it and re-roll.
All right.
So I'll take a I guess I'll take an injured condition.
Okay. Yep.
Because I am trying to jump out of a moving car. 1 success that time.
All right. Did everyone else make it? I think so. You all kind of go tumbling. No, did I hear a no from Gar?
No.
All right. So Claire makes it, pushes it. Jose, you roll out of the way, and because like the brick is down and the wheel is turned, it's going straight, but then it starts drifting around. Garth hits the ground wrong and is rolling. The guys are rushing too, and they're pulling out these pistols. And now the van is like essentially doing like a street, like those street takeovers. It's just doing a donut. And Garth is like rolling on the ground, trying to get out of it, like trying to get up before it like smacks him and like throw. Now he is robotic, but he is about to get hit by the back of this van. Now as this is happening, and the guys can like see a couple of you in the shadows. I know this is crazy, and this is all within seconds. Bruce and Anna, what are you doing?
Um.
Bruno,
So
go ahead.
yeah, I think Annika like quickly like runs over to the nearest boat that you can see, and tries to figure out how to like get it to start it up. I don't know what type of boat it is.
Yeah, these boats are kind of old, so they don't have any like extra like cool like connections. So she would just have to give me a tinker check. At that check, I need a move from Garth.
Okay, so I got 1 success on the tinker check.
Yeah, no successes.
Oh, Garth, you're having a rough night.
I'm not a move heavy person. Like this isn't like my forte anymore.
So if Clara sees him struggling, can she try to help pull him out of the way?
Here, this is one of those moments where he's failed. He's about to get smacked by the van and whatever goes with that story, that narrative.
Okay.
Clara would have to make a check, like I would say
a force.
A force, and if she fails that force, then she would take the same. They both get hit.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I think she would try if she sees him because she doesn't want him to get run over.
No, she goes.
I don't know how smart this is going to be, but no, she's going to get smacked too.
She's not, and she's not going to push it. Okay.
No.
All right, and so what happens is, Clara dies for him, and she misses. And as she like can't grab him, he gets smacked by the back of the van. Clara dives straight out to grab him, but she misses, so she lands on the ground, and the bottom the van goes over her. The wheels don't run her over. She's like right in the middle. But she's like now stuck as the van it goes around another time. Garth takes a tumble to the ground, and one of the guys grabs him and like puts a gun and starts like kind of like, I got one of them. This is going wrong here. What is
This is just us trying to steal a boat. We haven't even started this whole nonsense.
And so he's kind of like pulling it. They seem to be like, he's got like the gun on Garth. He's like, what are you doing trying to take my car? And he doesn't seem to be like in mode like he's security. He's almost like treated like he's treating you, Garth. You hear the way he's yelling at you is like, you must be some punk that was just trying to, some tweaker or some druggie that's trying to take their shit.
Okay.
And then he goes, hey, there's another one. Get the other one. Now, Clara, you're on the ground here. Before we go back to anything that's happening there, tinker check from Anna.
Yeah, I got 1 success.
Okay, so and then boom, that little like boat starts up, and so at that moment with that success, the two look back and go, "Hey, they're still in a boat." But because of that, there's a moment as they realize this isn't just whatever it seems. They're distracted. That leaves a distraction open, and what I'll say is, what's happening next? Somebody decide to do something here. The two guys are now distracted. How do you capitalize on that?
So I'm under this car, right? Is
It
that
just
what
went around you?
Said?
Just went around you.
And you just got past it. So now it's like continuously just doing donuts, but you're outside of the way of it. It's just kind of like going in circles.
I'm gonna try to run. Like I am gonna try to remember Coach Steve's jogathon and try to like sprint my way away from this guy. Like if I have like a jacket or a shirt on, I try to pull my jacket off to like.
So do you want to make a force with that? Because I know move's not your thing. Do you want to take a force check to like push your jacket over and push this guy back so that you can?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it'd be the same. And either way, though, my body isn't. I don't have. I didn't push in body, but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
I'll tell you what. I'll take an upset and help you out.
Oh shoot.
So we'll do that. So like as
Auto
as you're
success.
as you're running and trying to take take that jacket off, we'll do it.
You guys
What
just
is it?
tackling this guy?
I'm pushing him off
No,
me
no.
to run.
He's,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what I'll tell you is, so as you push him off, it's an auto success. So as you're running, Jose's kind of running over to grab you and pull you away from the guy. The guy kind of loses his footing, and you hear the gun go off, bang! It like makes a little crack in the middle of the night. At that moment, the Jose, you didn't quite lock the, you know, the clubs can be a little finicky. And so it slips in a way where the wheel goes back to straight, and so the SUV drifts out of a spin and goes straight. And the guy goes, ah, boom, and it runs him over, boom, and it just kind of goes down the docks, and then goes off the edge and splashes down into the water. And the other guy dives out of the way, but he dives into the water as you see the red lights begin to sink below the black waters. This is your chance to get the fuck out of Dodge and get to Anna's
Get to the boat. I grab Clara and I just pull her up off the dirt.
As you all start to pull out of the docks there. Moments later, you're like there on the, you know, the cold dark waters, as you can see the mostly dark island, right, heading towards you. And as you get closer, you start to see, as you get closer to the island, you do start to see something. Start to see lights, and they appear to be from like different complexes, like, and you know, like almost like a little, like a small, like if you were on the water and dark at night, and you could see like you could see the lights of a few buildings on, as you're approaching. I think
Can I just
take it over to you all.
Can I just take this moment on the boat ride over? Like, it takes us a little bit of time to get there, I would assume.
Mhm.
Is like, it's my time to, like, I want to calm down. Like, I'm trying to, like, heal my condition. So I look to Jose and I look to Clara and I say, thank you. I'm so sorry. I didn't think it was going to go that bad. And I just have one thing to say to you, Jose. That worm was really sick.
Right.
It was so good. It was so good. I'll never forget it. That was like
how are you
highlight of my night.
How are you healing a condition? Because you can't use a person. You can't use somebody, one of the party members, as one of your, what do you call that? Is there another way that you're healing?
Like,
as your anchor.
Anchor. I thought that if the characters are with each other and they like spend time with each other, they can.
I wonder if there's a certain amount of time. You know what? Yeah. Without looking at it, I'll take that. I'll allow that to. Yeah. So in that case, then all of you can heal one of the conditions. But if you guys are using,
no, you don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, like, it's. I wanted that moment to, like.
Because I don't want to stop the moment to read up on if that's the actual rule. Because I'm thinking thinking you're using the anchor rule, but there might be like something that the group can do together. But without looking it up, I'll just allow that, and then I'll make sure I check on it tonight. Okay. So continue roleplay.
Yeah, bro, that was a sick one.
Right. And so he lights, and then hands it over to Garth.
Oof, I think I gotta lay off it. I'm really clumsy right now, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
And then hands it to Bruce.
Yeah, are you okay, Jose? Are you doing a little too much? Plus, I think the light will probably let people know around. The boat's loud. I guess it doesn't matter.
It's fine. The car's spinning with the lights on anyway.
Bruce kind of looks at him and just finally kind of like puts it out and puts it behind his ear. It's like, okay, that's enough.
So they're kind of like drifting towards the island, hopefully towards answers. And as they get closer now, it starts to seem, just because it's night and it's dark, they don't see anything that's necessarily, since it makes them, fills them with dread. It's just that they're going into a place they don't know. They haven't been back here very long. They don't know what to expect. Are there more of those guys on the docks over here? And I think that do they try to look for the dock, or do they try to settle off somewhere, else, in, like kind of like run the boat up on the shore somewhere?
That's what I was going to ask.
What are they talking to each other about as they head over?
Like, I mean,
my camera went nuts.
Yeah, we can see your arm.
My arm.
There we go.
So weird.
I wanted to say something. I was like, yeah, maybe he's holding the baby.
No, you got to tell me. I wasn't doing that on purpose. It's my weird, stupid gimbal arm. If there's a kick up in the internet, it might just resort to a different angle, and sometimes I'm not looking at what's being recorded, and that happens.
I was expecting some mask or hat or
something. It somehow followed me or followed my. Yeah, no, I was. I just looked. And I was like, that's my arm. Maybe watching my arm.
He's doing the one-handed baby change.
Yeah.
So as we start getting closer, does it look like the dock on the other end?
There's a dock on the other end, and you see a big you see what looks like a small it's not quite a yacht, but it's a nice boat, right? Like a guest boat parked in the docks. And
do you see any people?
And as you look around,
on the dock, or does it look like
surprisingly you don't see anyone out there? No, nobody's patrolling out there. It is quiet. It's actually quite kind of pretty, but it's also but there's nothing out. And what you make out, so they're in the distance above some trees. You see a large looming silhouette of a gate. But across from the gate, and through outside of the trees line, that's to your left. But to your right, you see farmland, and you see a bunch of greenhouses. And in the way distance, you can kind of make out the mansion that's constantly raised on a hill. But there's all these greenhouses, and in the greenhouses, you can see a really dim. That's where you're seeing some of the light coming from. There are lights on in those greenhouses. There's a couple of lights on in the mansion in the distance too, but the greenhouses have a really eerie kind of glow and an interesting, just setup. They're just industrial, big, large, warehouse size, greenhouses, slightly angled at the top for the sun to come through. Yeah, how do you all continue?
I'm thinking that we should just turn off the engine and silently glide in off to the side somewhere, not too close to the.
Are there any oars in this boat? Sometimes speedboats have oars.
I think you do find some oars, yeah, in case the engine dies. You do find those, and so you're.
She grabs one and hands one to Jose and hands one to Garth.
So I won't even make you make a stealth a mooch a check for that. I think that was great, ingenious of Anna to kill the engine as you drift in. So you all can essentially tell me where they want to, is it on the dock, or is it maybe slightly off the dock? Is it but they kind of have their lay of where they want to attack the island from. But I will say where the question mark is where it's where all the stuff is at. The rest of the island is kind of barren open land right now, and construction, there's a lot of construction sites and stuff like that on the island. You can see some bulldozers off in the dark, but where the light's drawing you is either the mansion, there's the greenhouses, and then there's in the distance that weird gate. And the gate has, I will say, the gate has two braziers, huge flames at the top, kind of reminds you of a King Kong, the gates of King Kong kind of deal,
like the entrance to Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Happy. So I mean, we probably don't want to go. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Go right up to the dock because it's an obvious place that we watched.
Yeah.
So, but not too far away. I mean,
Maybe steer clear of the yacht because we don't know if somebody's
right,
on it. But
right.
if there's a good place to land that's a little ways away from that,
Okay.
that would be good.
Yeah.
All right, and so you successfully are able to get away from the docks. You find a soft, like, you know, patch of like shore to bring the waters like kind of like slowly lapping against the land as you disembark. You don't see anyone around. You feel like you're essentially like creeping onto this island. Like this is the stealthiest thing you've ever done. Where do you? It's essentially like you guys got that free part. So it's like, where are you going on the island at this point? You're on the island now.
So do you think mansion, greenhouse, gates?
Greenhouse.
The greenhouse is the closest, right?
That's the closest.
Yeah, I'm thinking
As
greenhouse.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out the
That's
greenhouse.
fine.
Just on the off chance that it really is in the greenhouse, but it's more of like
Kind of random
people and
greenhouse.
consoles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are
Greenhouse.
sneaking across like this little road. See a couple trucks parked. You don't see any folks, and you get to the greenhouses, and they have like a standard door. They have like a little keypad lock. You have a regular handle style, like a, you know, that you can in a key, but then they also have a keypad, and of course they are locked. But nothing that some of you like tech or tinkerers might not have been able to you've done in the past if you want to get in. There are no, of course, there's greenhouse has windows on the top, but there's no windows to like peek in and see what's in there. You essentially would have to climb to the top to see what's going on inside, or you'd have to get inside.
I can probably do that. Any security cameras?
Good question. As you look around, can I have a investigate from Bruce?
Sure. 1-6.
Okay. Surprisingly, where you're standing, like this place must be really like low security. You do not see no security cam, at least outside here. Like looking at you all, no security cam has been installed yet.
Yeah. So there is a way I can climb because I'm.
Yeah, there are like these. It's not a ladder, but maybe it's like a pipe for irrigation. Maybe it's for the sprinklers. It's like a pipe that you could like, you know, shimmy up.
Okay.
You could give me a move check to get up there.
Dice. That'd be nice. Two successes.
Nice. Okay. What can you do with another move? Can you use another move later? Something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Okay. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And so as you get up there and you like kind of you can tell that the glass and the frame that you're sitting on is really strong. And there's some dim lights lit inside the location. And what you see down there are a darkly, dimly lit room, Bruce, that is full of like growth, like vegetation, tomatoes, different types of produce, in the main, like in this main hall. And I would say it might look something like, so like you're looking down, you see all the green, like that's kind of like the layout, right? Like you're looking down from the ceiling. But as you continue to like look over, there's a wall to a secondary room. And you also notice in the room with you, like one room over where the produce is, seems to be like a false wall. And on the other side, that room is lit and bathed in like a red glow. And there is like this wispy white, almost looks like strands of something growing or hanging off of these trees. They almost look like artificial trees. You can't tell they're white trees. And it looks more like this, what you see in the second room. Can I have a comprehend from you with a +1?
+1? Okay. Darn, no, nothing.
You don't know what that is, but it's strange. there's like something growing, like pieces of like white, almost silkish strands that seem to be growing off these trees in this red room. It's windowless except for through the top. Where
this part is in a separate room that I can see.
Is in a
right?
separate room that you can see through. So imagine yourself up there peering through the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I kind of whisper it down and describe there's some weird shit over there. Color red thing. It's hard to describe.
You get an automatic move success, but one of like your foot gives one of the glass panels kind of breaks, and you like your foot kind of slips and you step away. You don't have to make the check for it. You're okay as some of the glass like falls way down, and as you're whispering down to them, and as you're standing there, what you realize since you got the success on the move is the white strands.
Yeah.
They look like muscles, like muscle or meat.
Organic
organic tendons growing on these trees.
I tell them that. Yeah, I tell everybody what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can get in there to open the door, or no? There's no way I can.
You could, because now that one of the panels is broken and you didn't fall in,
Yeah.
you could you could try to make a move check to get in successfully, not falling, getting down, and then opening the door from the inside.
Yeah, I want them to at least see it. Let's do it from the distance. I'll do that. That's a move.
Yep.
That's fine. Yeah, one.
Okay. So you get down there, boom, you drop. We kind of like cut to your heels, boom, hitting the ground, not too loud, and you walk over. It's really easy from the inside to clink, open the door. No alarm goes off, and you're like, "Hey, you got to see this." As you take everybody in, the main room has all the vegetation. It's maybe about 40 feet long, 40 feet wide. Sorry, the room is actually pretty wide. Yeah, it's probably about 40, 45 feet wide, 40 feet long. And then that second door, which you open and crack it, you see the bathing glow. And now close, you can definitely see these are muscles and tendons that hang from these white, like almost like spider silk from these branches of these strange man-made trees in this windowless building.
Have you seen any of this Geiger shit? Creepy.
No.
That's not what I expected to see here. No.
No. And why is it in a greenhouse?
Yeah, it's kind of gross, right?
Super gross. Can I investigate? Is the tree like breathing? Is it like alive?
I was gonna ask that.
Does it smell weird?
Yeah, like can I get like a sense of like, yeah.
Yeah, those are all good questions. I think it's it's not moving. It doesn't seem like it's breathing. It doesn't seem like it is a biological kind of a growth in terms of the process. You don't know how it's being done, but the tendons seem to be look like white strips of muscle. So there's no blood. So nothing's like bloody. There is that red bathing hue like that seems to be like kind of in the room.
Does there seem to be circulation?
Like
any circulation?
No circulation on them as well.
No. Okay.
At least it doesn't seem to be. So this isn't. It's living. I mean, you could consider it maybe living tissue, but it's not. It's not moving. It's not writhing. It's not making any noise. It is. It almost looks like it's creating artificial human muscle to be used for something, to be maybe and can I, one of you with help, everyone actually I'll only take one check, but who would like to, someone give me a comprehend?
I'll do the comprehend because I'm curious if this looks like something that I'm made out of.
Interesting.
That's a good one. I'll give you a +1 for that. I'll give you a +2 for that.
Yeah, because we've seen his insides
Yeah.
at various times.
Yep.
Okay, a lot of dice, but I did roll a 6, so a single 6 on
Okay.
comprehend.
And
Yeah, so the information I'm looking for is like, is it something that I'm made out of, and I don't know, whatever else you want to give me.
this is what you realize. I think Garth realizes this is like a close imitation, and I wouldn't even say imitation because it might be like another scientist's version of, like, I think Garth knows and Clara knows what your dad achieved is something like no one else has, and he didn't share it with the world, but this is like a close second. It is definitely the type of muscle that coats your bones. And what you do find in the corner, there's even like almost like a mannequin of a statue where you see like a diagram of where the stuff is supposed to be attached over. Unlike Garth, it doesn't seem to have Garth has like a circulatory system where when Garth gets cut, it at least appears like he is bleeding or he is hurt. This is only way I could describe it, at least unless they add a circulatory system, it's almost like a Westworld mannequin. And the meat is applied in that way in all the proper places, and you can tell that whoever's building this is trying to make the closest thing to a human android that you could possibly. So the goal is to make this a replication of a human. This is not like, these are not the robots that serve you all like, hot dogs on a stick that you're used to.
Yeah, that's like they're almost like made well enough to be like integrated into like society.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Is there any like tech in the room, like any computers or anything?
Yeah, there actually is a little computer stand pod in the center of the room that seems to like.
Wait, I couldn't hear that.
Yeah, I think it cut out. Yeah.
You'd cut out.
Oh shoot! Yeah, my mic went off. I said it's a little system in the middle of the room, like a pod, and it seems to be really very high tech. But it could be, it's something you can take a closer look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Annika would like to investigate it and see if she can figure out like what this thing is for, like what it's doing.
Okay.
Something.
I will take. What do you think? I will take whatever you think is like, and you describe for me how you might. I'll take a program, tinker. You tell me. Calculate.
Yeah, I think probably calculate.
Calculate. I like calculate. Yeah.
Let's see. No. She doesn't understand.
Does she want to push or no? She would have to take it. She would take a condition if she does push.
No, I think like right now she's more concerned about finding Sera.
Yeah.
And less about this organic tree. So yeah, she's not going to push it.
Can I have a body check from everyone?
Body.
So Anna's like, she hooks up her little Game Boy and it's like, denied. Denied. Like, it's like she can't get anything.
Yeah,
one success.
She also failed the body check.
Okay, one success. Okay,
one
success.
One
Success. All right.
One.
Considering I needed 2 successes from each of you, you hear suddenly you hear the room filling with like boots in the dark, and you hear, and all of you feel like like something in your side, your back, or your chest. And Bruce looks down and there's like a dart in the middle of his chest, like, and like your vision just begins to fade as you all collapse.
We're doing
That
great.
was what we needed.
We needed two to not
That's
do
awesome.
that. It
Man,
sounds
that's
like.
great.
And so slowly but surely, you guys begin to stir. You hear like this is, and it takes you a minute. Your heads are kind of ringing before you start to realize it's a horse cart, and you're inside of a horse cart, and you're like kind of coming to, looking around.
Oh my god!
And then you just hear,
We'll clap.
"Hey, you're finally awake."
Oh,
And as you
no.
as you come to, there's these two horses are pulling this cart, and they're like, it's like early morning. There's like a heavy mist on the ground, and this like animatronic guy who's like pulling, he's got the worst like fake skin, like latex skin. "Hey, you're finally awake." He like says it again. And as you look up, you see these two grand big gates, and above the two torches it says the Savage Lands. And these gates start start opening to reveal like the heavy mist on the ground, this like medieval village beyond. It's definitely April, but there's like snow, patches of snow like on the ground, and these like robots are meandering around like villagers. These don't look like humans. These look like the kind of the janky robots that you're used to, but they're all dressed in like peasant clothes and like, buy an apple. Apples for sale. As you kind of like walk into this courtyard, and then you see a guy like kind of looking for adventurers to quest. And so what are you all doing? And you realize as you look down, your hands are locked like handcuffs, and then they release. Clink! And as they release, the cuffs come off, but you all have a band. It almost looks like a kind of wraps around the hand here. And it appears to be like a little band it's like a little tech on it. It has a little blinking green light. And on it, it says your race and class. I'd like you to tell me what your band says your race and class is.
Oh my god. This is the worst.
All of it.
Insane. I guess mine.
Yeah, you can take a moment.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did the Skyrim intro. I was like hoping he didn't do it. I heard the cart. I heard the Swedish voice. God. I heard the cart and I was like, please don't do it, please don't do it. And then he fucking did it. Okay. I'm back in the game. I would be I guess I would be like a human. Well, I don't know the Skyrim race. I mean, can I just?
No, it's not Skyrim. No, it's like it's just fantasy based. That's
Fantasy.
just Skyrim's a joke. It's not Skyrim at all. It's just you're just it's just medieval. Whatever you want to be, you can say whatever it is. It's your
I
contribution.
thought it
to
was
the story.
funny now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Tabaxi bard.
Okay, and you don't look like that. It just says it on your band. You look like Guard.
Right.
Like you're not even
Okay.
wearing. You guys aren't wearing outfits. You're like right now.
We're still in our clothes.
You're still in your clothes. You just have this band that says, yeah.
So mine says bard. Like it says bard. Tabaxi
Yep.
bard.
Okay.
Okay, mine says gnome druid.
Love it.
Nice. I like it.
Dwarf fighter.
I like it. Dwarf fight.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Mine
Elf
says
Ranger.
orc thief.
Orc thief.
I'm like, and I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do with that.
That's
Yeah.
that's tight. That's cool.
How about you, Castro?
Elf Ranger.
Nice. Okay. Classics.
Classic.
Classics. Gotta go with the class. And so as you're looking at these, like, what is going on? Over in the loudspeaker, you go, good morning, guests. I don't know why you're on my island, but I can at least use you as test subjects. It's definitely been hard to get volunteers with all the faulty AI we have with the test robots. So with that, with all the faulty robots running about, maybe you can help us test out some kinks in the system. So have fun. Toodaloo. And then you can tell that the message itself has a twisted sense of enjoyment of what's about to come. And the horses stop. They're like, and you realize they're like halfway real horses. The bottom, they're like Terminator, like robot like legs. The back opens and you're free to walk around this village. You see like a general store, you see a tavern that is like, like Bigsby's, tavern and ale, and there's just kind of like robots walking over. So it's real creepy because they're not people and they don't even look like people. Now you all, the what the fuck moment, what do you do with this? What conversations are you having?
Castro's literally trying to like gnaw it off of his wrist.
I poke Castro in the forehead because I want to make sure he's
Castro,
real.
you're trying to gnaw it off. What did you say you were again? Because I haven't got that. You said you were a
an elf
He's
ranger.
an elf ranger, yeah.
elf ranger. Give me a force check.
I poke Castro in the forehead because I want to know if he's real. Like, am I in a reality? Like, is this like?
Yeah,
this
you
back
touch
in
him.
the game.
He's like,
That's a
what are you
good
doing?
point.
Slaps your finger like, what you doing?
I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that this is real.
Two
This
sixes?
feels very real.
2 successes.
Okay, and so as you
This
slap
feels
his
very
hand
real.
away, Castro, you kind of do like this, and you hear like you hear an arrow go, twing, and then no arrow comes out. It's like almost like, but one of the robots goes, struck in the eye. I struck in the eye, and falls over.
What
So you
the
realize like the
hell?
glove is kind of like a controller for your abilities.
Whoa. Can I use my gloved hand and pull up my hand and see if a guitar comes out?
So you think about your guitar, and it doesn't. Yeah, I'll say like it kind of creates what Castro saw was kind of like a little ghostly holographic of his. You see like a ghostly holograph of your guitar.
No.
You can't feel it. It's not like tangible, but it's kind of like VR. It's like you can see it though, and it looks like you're holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this is cool.
I made it, guys. This is cool as hell, but it's scary as shit at the same time. I'm like, yeah.
So
Well, let's just-
as far as the bands, like if you poke it or do like, is there any other info that we get, or is that
Yes. So
Yeah.
I'll say this without the roll. So you all start to kind of like fiddle with your, and so what you start to see is as you mess around with yours, Claire, since you're the first to ask, you all start to do this, and what you start to see is like your hit points pop up, all your abilities, like your feats. You're like, oh shit! Like you start to see so Guard starts to see what basically spells he can cast with his loot. And it's not completely D&D. I'm not gonna ask you guys to like. I'm just asking you to think about. So like, if you know what a dwarf fighter does, do dwarf fighter shit, right? Like, you don't have spell slots, but like that's the stuff that these teens are seeing, like in a holographic. You're seeing like menus of the things you have available to you, and like little tutorials walking through like how to use your bow, like like aim at someone, fire. You see the person fall over. So you quickly start to acclimate yourself with like what you can do with these things, and they would be the things you can do since we've all played D&D with your characters.
Well, guys,
Suddenly,
We're
one of
going on an adventure.
Cast fireball.
you're
Somebody
right.
So
cast
this like
fireball.
this holographic fireball goes boom, just emanates from Castro out 20 feet, and there's like there's a robot walking up to you like, "Hello, fellow adventurers, I'd like to offer you," and he just goes, "Ah!" and he just like falls. Like they all like look like they're getting shocked. A bunch of them, like there's like a farmer, and a couple of the horses just collapse. Now they're all laid out. They no longer work. They clearly didn't burn, but it's like you saw the fire hit them and roll over them, and they just collapsed over.
Castro's like looking around and he goes, "I said someone cast fireball, not
Oh my god, they're attacking the village. They're attacking the village. Run, hide." Like the robots are running and shutting the Bandits are attacking. Bandits, ding 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 ding. Bandits.
Let's get out of here. Like
so Malcolm, I guess I'm looking around. Does this look like physically outside on the island?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. It's as not okay. Yeah, you're right. Let me make this work, especially after the last episode. This is very much a real amusement park.
Okay,
like everything is tangible. You can tell that they've built this entire village, and then everything outside the village is kind of like, let's think Westworld, right? Everything outside the village is just open land to the island. And so the village is real, the robots are real, and then your abilities, your gloves are a way to interact with the robots, right? And with the world around you, and to do essentially whatever you want. Yeah.
I figured that was the case. Just wondering.
Yeah. No, but good to confirm it, because I don't want you to think you're not. You definitely don't feel like you're back in the Machine God virtual reality, right? Like you would there's almost some feeling to that dreamlike feeling. This feels very much like, this is happening, like,
yeah, so I was gonna ask him, like, if it had that same type of like, this is not really here, but if we're physically touching stuff, then
please don't destroy our town, please don't. But you realize you're not being penalized for any of this. Like, you could be murder hobos. You realize it's kind of like you do whatever you want.
Right. It's your thing. That's I mean, we don't know how to get out of here. I mean, should we just keep pressing forward? That's an adventure, or maybe talk to see what the robots do. I don't know.
Maybe we can find out where Annika's friend is. Maybe one of these robots knows.
I mean, the voice did say that there's glitches, which means that there's a glitch, there's a way out.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to the nearest robot.
Because Jose cast a fireball, they all ran inside and closed the doors. So like everybody left. You can. That doesn't mean you can't get to them. You can like bust through into the. I mean, you're like kicking in the doors at the end, but you can like essentially they shut down the village. There's no one on the street. It's like a ghost town now. So you got the inn, you've got the tavern and the inn next to it. You've got like the store, and they've all just like closed in the shutters.
Yeah, I go to.
And then there's a path. It's it's kind of built like a small little western, but like in medieval style. So you've got like the main road with the houses on either side, and you got this one road leading directly farther into the island. And then you've got like the big two doors to go back outside where the Sunshine Farm is, but they're closed. And then these huge walls like around the entire complex, and you can tell like they're like the walls that are like 60 feet high.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go to the tavern and ask someone, like you said, or something.
Yeah. So we go to the tavern and I kind of look around and I go up to the barkeep. Is there a barkeep?
So as you go up to the tavern, you like the doors will clock, and you rap on the door, and then they don't answer. Oh, you hear them like all like frantic, and then they're like, "Oh, I think they're gone. We think the bandits are gone." And the doors open, and all the robots kind of go back to sitting, like acting like they're drinking. There's one behind the bar, like wiping a mug down. "How can I help you, adventurer? Are you looking for a job or a drink?" He has the robot has mutton chops, but like overlaid on the metal, like in the big bug.
Oh god, this is horrifying. I go, "Well, we're looking for a friend. Annika, can you describe your friend to this robot?"
Yeah, she's my age, like a teenage girl, blonde. Her name is Sera.
I don't know just that name of that girl, but there are some people that have gone missing. You can talk to the quest giver outside. And as you look out, you kind of see through the doors that are kind of open. The guy that like Jose had burned is like getting back up and looking around. Quests? Anyone looking for a quest? Like, you know, kind of like meandering around outside again.
You burned the quest giver, Jose.
You realize the bar is fully stocked with like it looks like old, like, you know, wine bottles wrapped in like, you know, rope, but they have tags on them that say like McKellen 12, Jack Daniels, clearly for like whoever was like here for what they're looking for, margarita mint, you know, whatever you want, they have. So it's not like ale or whatever.
All right. There's some messed up stuff going on here, because first of all, I think he just like leans in and whispers like, "Rangers can't cast."
You're right. That's the craziest thing here. Yeah, for sure, Castro. I'm so glad we're family.
We definitely haven't worked out things.
He just like, he gives you the eye like, the hell?
Okay, let's go to the quest giver and talk to the quest giver to find out where Sera is.
Hello, adventurers. I am here to give quests. What is it that you are looking for?
We're looking for Sera, an adventurer.
I don't know this Sera, but a young boy was kidnapped 3 nights ago by him and his family. The orcs have taken the boy down by the lake. If you head up, and he kind of starts to give you general directions that are maybe like 20 minutes away, and you start to see the GPS on your little like cuffs. We believe they're camped there, but no one in the town is strong enough and would dare go near there.
Okay. Well, we can do that for you.
Yes, if you can, the mother looking for her son would happily pay you 10 gold if you could do that. And then you also see it on your button that it will level you up if you complete the mission and give you, and it shows like your new abilities that you'll get.
Okay. All right, we go. What do you think, Annika?
Is this really what we want to do? Level up, get gold? Like, we need to find my friend Sera.
Yeah, I agree. I'm wondering if, I don't know, maybe this quest giver is not giving us what we need. We can kind of just get out of this town and kind of explore.
Yeah, I think
unless
we
you
should...
have another idea.
We should try to get out of this park, I think. Somehow.
So when we got the band, did they close the gate to the park?
The gate is closed. You are locked inside.
Okay.
And the walls are like sheerly, very like flat, like, and they're sloped inward. So like, getting out is going to be, you're looking around like trying to figure out like, how do I get over those walls, right? Unless someone of you can fly. Yeah.
I feel like we need to find out more information and explore before we can get a way out. And we might have to play through the game to get that.
So you hear this like, and the people go, "Oh no, they're coming!" And they all start to like run inside and close the doors. And that pathway leading down, and then there's like a, and you see like hunkering. Now, as you look out towards what's happening outside the town, these robots don't look shabby. They look like 6'3" muscle, green-skinned orcs. At least 20 of them barreling into the village. Tusks, huge axes, running. Close the gates! As like you see someone trying to close the gates that go deeper into the park, and they just like they close off the gate, but like 5 of them get inside, and start to like surround you, breathing out. Like you can feel their like breath, like the heaviness of their breath, holding battle axes.
They look and feel real. They don't look clunky.
You're the heroes we're going to destroy today. And their eyes have a little glint, like a little light red glint that lets you know that they are robotic. And they like rush forward and swing at the dwarf, at Bruce.
Oh shit!
Bruce, as you step back and the battle axe slams into the ground, you realize that axe is real. Like it slams into the ground, pieces go up. This is your final trouble for today. How do you guys handle this situation? How are you going to take out the orcs?
So I'm an orc. So can I try talking to him? So
okay.
I mean, so my character Clara doesn't know anything about D&D.
Okay, yeah.
Right? She
played once. She played once when they were kids.
Sort of, like she was there and witnessed it, but that's like the extent of D&D that she knows, right? Yes. So all she knows is that her thing says orc, and these guys, they say that somebody said orcs. So she's gonna try to talk to him.
Okay, what does she tell him?
My fellow orc, and she has no. It doesn't sound at all like what she
hears like, ooh,
my fellow orc, really we mean no harm. We're just looking for information.
Charm check.
Yeah.
How charming am I as an orc? I'm not even charming as a human, so we'll see how this goes.
Are we using our stats, I'm assuming?
Yes, you're using your regular.
Okay.
Here's what I'll tell you. If what you're doing, I'll give you a bonus as though it's like you're. If what you're doing makes sense for your character, I'll give you a +1. So this makes sense. You get a +1 to whatever Claire's regular. Because you guys are also really low level heroes right now, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Out of 4 dice, I got 2 6s. I'm amazed.
Okay. Nice. Now remember, this is a big trouble, so that's 2 6s towards your main goal. So as she's doing that, they kind of one of them pauses like he's listening to her, and goes. But you realize the one that is still fighting Bruce. There's like because he's like happening within seconds, so he might be the one is slowing down and starting to listen to Clara, but that doesn't mean they've like fully called off the attack. What's everybody else doing? So that's Clara's move. It could lead to a full stand down, but where are we at?
I mean, I don't want to ruin any progress she might make, but naturally, I mean, probably besides pee my pants with a big battle axe coming down next to me, I might just react and just what the hell's this thing do and just swing the dwarven battle axe right back at him.
Okay, go for it. You're gonna give me a force check.
Okay, force. Oh yeah.
Botch level force check.
Ooh, I got 2.
Ooh, so that's 4. So the guy that
one. Sorry.
Okay, so the guy that missed you tag him with a hit, and he goes like staggering back and collapses over like a cart into like some hay, and is like trying to get up from the blow. It's kind of crazy because you feel like you like almost felt the force of it. We'll continue. That's 3 successes so far.
Jose will go. Pretty sure it's not going to work now, but let's cast Fireball on them.
So for it to work, to see, because there's like a mishap with your like, it's like switching to like to mage and then like going back. Give me for that, since you're trying to cast the Fireball. It's a comprehend because it's almost like you're using the spell. So, yeah, I'll take that from you.
Nice.
Or I'll take a tinker if you're trying to like mess with your thing to make it allow you to use Fireball multiple times.
I'll stick with comprehend only because I have the most dice.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Oof. 1 success.
Okay, that's 4.
I back up Clara and I go, whoa, 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 take it easy. We're not here to. And while I'm trying to like calm down the situation as I'm just kind of talking, I want to use an empathize roll, which allows me to study the person, animal, conscious robot, and how to find its weakness.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to roll that, empathize. And I will push one way or another.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have to push, but I do have I get to ask 2 questions. My first question is, what is their weak spot?
So when they swing and they miss, they kind of like robotically they leave their back open, and that's where Bruce swung and hit him. So anywhere on the back is it does it's like a crit. That's why the one flew away from Bruce into the ground. So you're like Garth is like sizing that up like.
Okay, and then the second question that I have is what do they want?
They are just programmed to be an encounter, a challenging encounter for the entering party of this town. But the twinkle in their eyes lets you know that they've been programmed to kill you all.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So. Okay, so that's what I mean. So I intuit that information from that mind roll, and I guess the way I'd relay it is just like, duck and hit him from the back as I scream and roll forward.
Nice. I think everyone's gone set for Annika. Annika.
Okay. Okay, so Annika, she's a druid. Yeah.
You can, and by the way, you can also try stuff that your team can do. Like, say, if you don't want to try to do the D&D thing, you can do that too. You just have now this extra overlay over who you are. You're still your team, so don't think you have to do a druid move, but you can.
Yeah. Well, I think she's so she's a gnome, so she's fast and small. I'm thinking, so she runs to the back of the group of robots, and she tries to cast some sort of spell.
Ooh, okay.
Probably like some sort of thunder spell, I'm thinking.
Thunder, yes. I like it.
Yeah. So it will fry the robots is what she's hoping.
I like that. So she tries to call down thunder. I'll give her a +2, kind of like using her special because Garth was able to like call out their weakness. So go ahead and make your. That's going to be. She's calling out thunder. I'll take again, like I said, casting spells. It's kind of like mind based. So I'll take that either comprehend or I will take a calculate check from her trying to like use because I know she's kind of tech savvy, use the kind of like alter her wrist thing to do more damage.
Okay, so yeah, she'll do calculate in that case. Okay. See? No, but she will push it.
Okay. We're at 5 successes, I think, right? No successes.
Still no successes.
All right.
So she takes a condition then?
Yes, she takes a condition, but here's the thing. She still calls the lightning down. Boom, boom, and it rips through and it strikes some of the orcs. The thing is, it like fries through their bodies. They like stagger back and they like smoking. They kind of look back up, kind of drool leaking off their mouths. You realize that this is what you're looking at is probably what those tendons are, that the muscles in action. Like this is what they're making. And they look angry and preparing for another strike. Here's where we're at 5 successes. I'll go around and ask you how many conditions are you willing to take, and what you're doing to try to get to a compromise here in this, to try to get out of this alive. And so anybody can start. Anna, Bruce, Clara, Garth, Castro. Maybe it's just one each. Maybe one each is enough. But whatever you put up, that's all you can put up, and then we move on. If you're not putting up anything, you're not putting up anything.
I'll take
one.
Scared, exhausted,
Jeez.
and injured.
Okay. Describe for me what that looks like and what you're doing. You don't have to make any dice rolls, remember. This is just you. This is you just adding to the scene the desperate nature of what you're trying to do to overcome this and to help Anna casting the lightning, everything that's happening.
Castro will try and like maneuver or like kind of round up the orcs, basically like try and run around them. At the same time thinking of like, oh my god, I'm never gonna see my dad again if we die here. And then falling over an orc foot to land flat on his face for the injured.
Nice.
I think I already took the upset condition and probably the scared condition from getting held at gunpoint.
Okay.
So
okay.
I was already done. I was already done 2. I will take one more condition before I potentially fail, but I'm gonna just take the injured condition.
Okay.
And I think it's just, where would I be? Yeah, I think that dart that hit me probably affects my system a little bit more than maybe some of my teammates or my friends. Maybe there's like some sort of additive in it that's different, that hits me different because I'm somewhat of a mech.
Yeah.
So I think I take the injured condition. And what I do in that process though is I think like I said, I try to roll. Like I think I try to roll like underneath the orc and try to strike it from the back.
Nice. So you strike out and your strike hits. And you he even though there's no blade in your hand, he reacts as though the blade is striking him. So you realize even though whoever this is, this woman that this female voice that talked over the intercom is definitely still, while trying to kill you, is still toying with this. Still is a game where she's allowed you to use the abilities available to you, and that is striking as the lightning is rolling through from Anna as Jose is capitalizing on the moment. All right, anyone else? Anna, Clara, Bruce, you're the final offers. We're down to.
I mean, a big freaking orc axe just swung by me. Even though I'm definitely taking the scared one. So.
It seems like you're getting close, so you don't have to dump a bunch because Jose put 3 out there. So
okay.
Yeah. I'll say the looks of it is that you're getting control of the the situation
right.
here.
Okay. So, I mean, definitely shocked from swinging my axe, quote unquote, and then the fact that he flew like a ragdoll video game. I'm guessing so. Maybe there's an ego boost there, or a shot. It's not. I wouldn't say ego boost, but surprise.
Yep.
Staying his ground, seeing what's going to happen. That's it.
Okay, so not using an injured condition to get another success. Is that standing his ground? If standing his ground is that is he taking an upset? Is he taking Is he taking a condition?
Can I take a scared condition?
Yeah, you can. So that gets you.
So
we're at 9 successes right now, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Annika is also scared because the thunder doesn't seem to be working, and this situation is just crazy.
So she knuckles down and she's scared. She realizes that she does that. As she's scared, she casts lightning one more time. This time, boom, boom, it rolls across them. One of the orcs collapses over. And now one is down, not getting back up. The hay ignites on fire. That one guy lays there. The other one is staggered. There's 3 there. Bruce is ready to strike. Claire, is there anything else you're adding to this?
Yeah, I think, because she sort of led off with trying to talk to these guys and they started to get a little confused, but maybe we're not fully convinced. I think seeing these attacks on, Garth and her friends, I think she would start getting scared as well. So that's two.
Okay.
She was already injured before, so that.
And suddenly, seeing that they are under the three orcs that are left, seeing two of them dead, like lightning and a dude down, the one talks back to you and goes, "Fellow orc, we are sorry we did not recognize you. Why do you travel with these meat bags? You are stronger than this." And this either leaves you open to strike or to continue this conversation. I don't know.
So she's going to respond and say, "I am with them to look for a missing traveler. Would you have seen this traveler? I will be paid much gold if I can find her." And then I describe Sera to him. "Have you seen her?"
"We have seen no such traveler. We killed most and ransomed some, but no girl that you describe is..." And suddenly, like a huge bolt goes through his jaw and dislocates it. And this is very much not like it like a bolt of like that is a full blown like arrow, kind of goes through his head. Or like a bolt from a crossbow, and then start to land into each one of their bodies, and when they hits them, they spark like literally the skin opens up, and they kind of blast like it's slamming into, and from the gates that lead further into the realm, there are two robots, kind of like cloaked like rangers, and then those gates that had closed begin to open up, and these like you see all these dead orcs on the ground, and there's a group of like 10 ragged like robots with like little red eyes that kind of just look like the robots that you're used to, kind of very, and they kind of step into the square, and they say, we have come to help. Come with us. Come with us if you'd like to stay in one piece. A couple of them have swords drawn. They've killed all the orcs. What
they look like
do you make of
rangers
this?
Or something?
Yeah, they look like rangers of some type. And like not, some of them are like knights, like armored, like, but most of their armor is like their robotic metal. And right outside the village, there's like in the ground, like a dirt, there's a flap, like a hinge comes up. As you see one of them kind of like lift up at the ground. "Hurry before the camera catches us." And it's like a pathway underground, and the other robots, "Suit yourself," and they go running back.
I run after them.
All of them.
We're coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys go running down, and you run down into the ground. The doorway closes behind you, kind of this trap door, and then you're like, and you can hear like the wetness of a hall, kind of like you're in the sewers. You can tell the halls are metal. And you walk with them, and a couple of them are like illuminate like a light, like a torch that's like kind of like a globed light as they walk through. "Do not worry, you are safe." And as you walk with them, can I have a comprehend check from everyone? Actually, from all of you. All of you except for Bruce. I don't think Bruce was. Yeah.
Sure.
Two
from okay.
1.
1.
Nice.
As you're looking at the robots, as you're kind of all around you, Annika and Clara, and I think Jose got 1 as well.
And Garth, I think.
You're noticing the barcodes on, and Garth, all of you notice the barcodes on some of them on different parts of them. And they all say the horizon, the EK horizon. And you realize, and you start to notice that some of them are singed, like from fire. These are robots from the horizon that crashed. Somehow, who knows why they're here on this island. And they enter this open space, and it's kind of lit with torches. And they all, one that saved you all kind of walks and stands beside a figure, and he goes, "She is with us. Is this who you were looking for?" And she like pulls back her hood, and it's Sera. And Sera, she kind of stands up, standing amongst, protected by all these robots. She's got like an arrow like strapped on her back, and she runs to her friend and grabs Annika, and they like embrace, and they just hold each other. And then all the robots go, "We shall be made whole. We shall be made whole. We shall be made whole." And we'll crash to black and end tonight's game there.
Oh man.
Good game. Good game.
Wait, so like oh my god, it's Sarah Connor. Or like that's like the influence. I didn't realize that. You kept looking for Sarah, and I was like, why is this?
I don't even think I knew that influence, but now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, yeah, that is clearly where that
Connor.
but yeah.
Zero Connor.
Good game. Yeah.
Okay,
if you
so,
remember,
like,
the robots from the horizon kept saying that they wanted to be made whole. They like just wanted to be, and so these are clearly. And so I think when they start chanting that, whether that's fear that starts to run through you, or it's just like, oh shit, because I think everybody that was on that ship knows that these are those same robots.
Yeah, and if they recognize us as the people
who like ruined their
ruined their lives.
Yeah. Wild.
Good game. That's where we will pick
Good
up from.
game.
All your conditions will stay the same. So please, so I don't forget, so you don't forget, I need to know what your conditions are, because we're starting next game with conditions, which we rarely do. But
I have four conditions.
Broken and scarred.
Oh,
Yeah, I have four conditions.
3.
2.
Injured,
2.
scared, upset.
I have
And
like
then
I have
Annika, next
three.
game we can explore what's
Okay.
happened with Sarah, why she's here, all of that. Good stuff.
Oh my god, wild. Wild.
Yeah, when you said the chart, though, I lost it. Like, you wake up, and I heard the music, too.
Oh yeah.
I heard the Jeremy Soule music. Oh, boy.
I just knew I was like, when they get caught, I was like, if they get caught, like, I have to do the Skyrim opening. I'm not even a Skyrim person, but I know that everybody talks about the Skyrim opening, and it's just one of the most recognizable ways to be entered into like a medieval, setting in from a video game standpoint. So I was like, yeah, that'll be fun to just use, And I imagine that there's like something about, the park that she's trying to make, and the park, the robots that are in the stand-ins right now, right, are kind of janky. So it would be cool to have these like janky NPC that like says this.
How do we go from a house party to like Terminator Westworld?
That was a big turnaround.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming. That's great. I mean,
That was wild.
I'm
That
so
was great,
surprised. I mean, I feel like certain things are so like obvious because we've been talking about TSR, and like I'm like okay,
yeah.
he's gonna send us to like D&D world again at some point. I didn't know necessarily how I was gonna do it, but I was like they'll probably end up there.
I mean, yeah, I knew it was gonna. I didn't know it was gonna be this game.
Why my
like
camera
I thought,
I didn't either.
so ridiculous? Yeah, tonight. All right.
I like the wrist glove thing. That was cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I liked casting fireball when I'm just like, can someone? And he's just like, you sent a fire. The hell?
Yeah, you said it. You tried it. Yeah, it's a chance it works. So
But that's the thing. I was asking, can somebody?
Oh,
cast
okay. And it's like
and I was just
fireball, and
saying,
like
I thought you said somebody cast it.
You're-
That's
yeah,
why I was
you're-
like, he casted fireball.
your wrist was like fireball.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Well, and everything doesn't necessarily work right. So
Yeah,
Yes,
and that was
that's
the other
the-
thing too. I was
that's
just
the
like,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so you realize when those robots came in, like they're not used. They're using like real weapons to like take like they like literally dismantled those robots and like kind of put them in the dirt. So I try to have fun with it. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, definitely some Westworld influence there. Like one thing I could never understand about the Westworld that never makes any sense is that their guns. The guns are real in Westworld. It never makes sense. The guns are real, but they shoot the androids, and they literally put bullet holes in them. But they still fire when you shoot them at a human, but no bullet comes out. Like what? Like what is?
Yeah.
It's always interesting. Unless there's like explosives in the bodies that like detonate based on like where the
holes, yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting. But
nanotech,
good stuff. Yeah. I didn't want us to have like go too late because I know it's a weeknight. I know how these Thursday nights can be, so I figure like it's a good place to end it right there.
That's perfect
because it's about to get like real.
Yeah.
It's about to expand. So yeah, good stuff. So and I know Annika has been waiting to try to get something on Sera for so long. So finally.
Nice.
But I do like that. It's so funny. I really didn't even think about that, but now I might lean into that more. It really is kind of a. It's probably like me. It's like it's kind of like me, like literally not even thinking about like Sera like that. Like I love Terminator.
That was awesome.
So
that was great.
Good shit. Yeah, well, I'll stick around for a little bit if you guys want to. Chris, if you need to hop off, I'm gonna do you. I'll just chill for a little bit. But cool. I know it's late for some of you.
I'm gonna get going because
I appreciate you making the game. Yeah, thanks, Eric. Thanks.
Thank you.
Because I know I know you've all had a lot going on in your lives right now. So yeah.
Dude, you too.
No, we're spending 3 days in Visalia, and my wife goes, "Yeah, it's Sunday." I'm like, "Sunday's Father's Day, so I'll be driving home." She's just like. I was like, okay, yeah, no.
So you're driving home on Father's Day. That's the way Father's Day works. It's just more. It's like just.
And then my dad just like, so what time are you gonna be home? I was like, we'll be home by 1. Be home by 1 because we'll be home by 1, and then you can come over and we can order food. And
yeah. All right, everybody. I'm gonna run.
Yeah.
But
later, man. Good playing with you.
All right.
Good game. Fun.
Yeah. Good night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later then. Bye.
Later. Bye, folks. Later.
All right, dude.
Yeah, man. How was that, man? Was it fun? Did it keep you going?
It was so good to do that again, and I'm happy to be back in the game. So
it was nice tonight. I tried to do more of. I don't know. Did it feel like I was rushing it? Because like I tried to do more because like they talk about in Tales from the Loop where you can control like scenes start here. So I tried to do more like ending a scene and just starting a scene. Like what would be cinematic versus in D&D you usually are constantly transitioning from location to location in real time, and I tried to do it more cinematically, being like
yeah. And I thought it was good because I know pacing's important, and I know sometimes like me as a player or the other players can like extend things a little longer than it needs to, and so I didn't take it that way at all. I thought it was good.
I know we don't get to play often enough to like. Sometimes I want us to be able to get some things done, so people feel like we don't have a party for 3 hours and then we won't see each other for another month.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was great. I thought it was really cool. I knew something was going to happen with TSR, obviously medieval, whatever, but I did not expect it that way. That was great.
And I debated if it was going to be this episode, but it was
So can I ask something?
Yeah.
Because I kind of Bruce didn't figure this out, but Eric Miles did, and I think I did. When I realized the orcs seemed organic, or at least more organic, I immediately went to the tree, and I went, oh
yes,
like okay, so like there's what happened there?
Oh yes, I'm turning off my main. It's like weird like Zoom does this. I'm trying to like I was trying to turn off the whole like pin screen so that you could just see just me, but it takes a while for Zoom to catch up, so I'm trying to tell it. And so right there it turns off my so it'll put me, so right now it's like it's showing that my camera's off, but I can't turn my camera on. It's saying every time I turn on camera, it says fail to start video camera. So eventually, usually when I talk, it'll usually come back on. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to not talk to you face to face.
No, I didn't think of that way.
I was trying to, but yeah, no, that was clearly meant to be. I wanted you all to make the connection. Like We got to see the tendons and the muscles, and clearly these orcs are built on that. So almost think like this place is the other robots are stand-ins to test things, but they essentially want this to be like Westworld, you know, where everything is like the realest. So you're getting the real orcs, and because you're getting the real orcs, those real orcs are also using real weapons and trying to kill you. So I think you nailed that. You nailed that hands down.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I do like, and maybe this, unless I read it wrong, I like how you went for the Warhammer Warcraft orc. Like you went
yes. I wanted the war, not the D&D orc. It's very much like, even like when I showed the front of the building, I was going for more of that. I was going for that sword and sorcery. Like I think the Savage Lands it's a D&D 1 edition. It's old school OSR, you know. Of course, you know, because of the way I think Aaron is, he's gonna have a tabaxi. But like it was perfect that you chose, like you and Renee chose the classics, because that's what it was meant. It was meant for you to choose.
Yeah.
That
a little more
option.
Old school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, do I want to go Sumerian? Do I want to go Conan, like barbarian, just a barbarian?
Oh, you totally could. And
I was tossed between that and a dwarf.
Because I'm not going to take this away from you. I think next episode you're going to, you know, basically explore this world a little bit more. So, you know, I wouldn't take it away that quickly. So I think that we're going to be looking at